Yeah. Words are hard already. Admiral J.L. Galloway. I'm your Fleet 31 commanding officer, and tonight I'm joined by my co-host, Rear Admiral Jenny Haight, our deputy fleet commander, and our community manager, Captain Scott Sterling.
Howdy, howdy.
Hello.
Hey, that's my saying. I mean, howdy, howdy.
I thought the other thing was words are hard, and I stole that one too. So
Yeah, you did.
Scott was just balancing the books, okay?
Exactly.
Okay.
So I do want to say I'm gonna have to check the facts on this. I'm not 100% certain that this is actually factually true. But apparently the Federation has fallen to the Klingon Empire. We'll get back to you on that. But I do like this comment from Mike. So the man flying a UFP flag on a 25-foot flagpole outside his home.
Oh, that's right. He has something going on with one
So
of the
says
neighbors.
the man. But aren't you the guy that has the Klingon flag right next to it, Mike? As we wait for an answer.
You know,
Spoilers?
if I could.
Spoilers? Question mark?
You talk about disco?
No, we're not actually discussing Discovery, Thomas.
We're not.
So an inside joke is Mike Tripp is our former fleet commanding officer. He served with great honor. He's also our resident Klingon. So he always likes to mention how the Klingon Empire is taking over the Federation. So it's an inside running joke. I mean, there's no spoilers. We're not going to talk about Star Trek Discovery or Star Trek Picard or any of those right now. Right now, we're actually mainly going to be covering the older series, which tonight's episode which is titled Altering History Part 1. We'll be looking at Star Trek Voyager's Year of Hell in a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like my good friend Howie is here tonight. Thank you for joining us, Howie. I hope Sammy's in the audience somewhere.
And we got 7 people today. Hey, look at that.
Look at that. And
Yeah,
Thomas is saying, long live you. Oh, we found another Klingon. Maybe it is an invasion
But his
force.
profile picture, he's wearing he's a human.
Maybe he's
Oh,
in
there's your
disguise.
Sammy.
Yep. Hi, Sammy.
Hi,
Thank
Sammy.
you for joining us.
Now, if only our Addy was here.
Yeah, where is Addy? Addy's the whole reason why we watched last episode. By the way, hey guys, if you have any suggestions that you want to give us for episodes to watch in the future, we're always happy to take those. I think we have either you can send us an instant message, maybe you can send us an email. Scott.
I'm on it.
There you go. And Coley looks like he's joining us tonight.
Coley!
Thank you for joining us tonight, Coley.
There's that.
And our email is f31centerseat@gmail.com. So if you have ideas or episodes or just topics you want,
Comments or suggestions.
Yeah.
Or if you want to tell us Jay sucks, let us know.
No, that's not what people want to say. People want to say that Jenny's insane for not liking chili.
No, they want to say Jay is crazy because he doesn't like steak or ranch.
Crazy. There's nothing crazy about those two things. I will admit that steak and ranch are popular. They're
just not together.
Exactly.
I may or may not have dipped my steak in ranch before.
Mm-hmm. That's why we went through the whole joke about steak infused ranch. Yeah.
We should just.
Look at what Thomas said here. Klingon Master Race. That's with the Gorn that year I went to Vegas and showed up to the dinner.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
What dinner
okay.
is that? Okay, somebody refresh my memory.
I think that's the year you weren't there. That was the year. I think that was the year that Scott and I did it.
Oh, okay. So.
And we ran out of room. Remember, we ran out of room.
Oh no, you guys did 3. You guys did the 3rd annual.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just remember we had a table. We were sitting in that back corner, not in the big area, but off to the right of that big room that we had the first year, the years you have it at.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a small table, but then people kept showing up, and more people kept showing up, and so we started taking the booths over too on the side. Mm-hmm. I think he was one of the booths.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who don't know, every year at Star Trek Las Vegas, we have a Fleet 31 annual dinner. and it keeps growing over the years. We have people that come and show up. We even some of our good friends who he's not on yet, but I'm pretty sure he's going to join us soon. People come on, and even you don't have to technically be part of the fleet to join us for
Mhm.
dinner. We just like talking about Trek, and of course we do our fleet awards, fleet promotions. Last couple times we promoted Jenny twice.
Hmm.
She was trying to beat Harry Kim's record. I had to put a stop to that. Okay, only Harry Kim could be an ensign forever.
This is true. I was ensign for a long, long, long time.
Oh,
Long time.
Thomas is Kellen.
Yeah, Kellen on
Okay,
Discord.
yeah,
Speaking of Discord,
yes.
there's a
Right,
Discord. Oh no,
Kaylee is
this
that
one.
one.
That one.
Okay,
Yeah.
You
that
I
is
don't want to
changed
look
the
at your
fun over
ugly
that,
face
didn't
twice.
you were saying.
I don't want to look at your ugly face twice.
Okay, fine. It was when oh yeah, the memorial.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh, I'm looking at his face right now. I remember him. I was there for the memorial. That was the
Mhm.
year I wasn't gonna go because
Okay.
I try to alternate every other year for doing a summer camp with my kids and then going to Vegas. Which for those who don't know, I can't speak for my two fellow co-hosts here, but I don't think I'll be doing, if they have it, the 2021 Star Trek convention. Mainly because I'll be too close to the cruise. That
Yeah, it really depends what's going on close to the time.
I mean, if I can swing it, maybe, but doing summer camp and then, so for me, it's not that I can't afford to do it. It's just I got to pick and choose what I want. I'm going to be buying a house next year. I'm going to be, going to the Star Trek cruise, going to Texas for a few days first before that, spending, getting to meet Jenny. Oh, I've met Jenny before. My wife
Yes.
met Jenny before, but really getting a chance to go back to Texas, but it's my wife's first time, so going to give her that full Texan experience. We have a few things planned out for that. My son wants to join us tonight. Do you guys have any objections to that? As long as he behaves himself.
We're gonna talk about Voyager. I don't know if he's gonna
We're
be
gonna talk
really
about
excited.
Voyager, but if you want to come on for a few minutes, you can. Okay. Do one of you guys have the? Oh, I can get the link for him. So as far as me, I don't.
Bless you, whoever's sneezing.
Yeah, bless you. Too.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I
Boomer
could hear.
Sooners, Boomer Sooners, Boomer Sooners. Okay,
What are you singing?
Oklahoma Boomer Sooners. OU
What is that?
football.
Oh,
Oklahoma. Okay, so yes, I'm a Texan, but my family is from. My mom is from Oklahoma, so we are Boomer Sooner fans. We are OU fans. So even though I'm from Texas, hey, if you're from Oklahoma, you should come down when we come down. When Jay and Jen come down for the trip, he can come down.
Oh
Meet us
yeah.
halfway or something.
Yeah.
If he's still up in Norman, Oklahoma, that's where OU is.
Okay. So
Anyway,
we
sorry.
are joined tonight by Cadet Nathaniel of the USS
Hi.
Moorhead, one of the best ships in the entire fleet.
I don't know. That's debatable.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Seems like more my crew shows up here. Well, my crew being my daughter and my son.
This is the guy
That's because you live with each other.
I don't know. Kaylee actually has a pretty cool house. You guys have seen it.
Oh, it's
Mhm.
true. But her housekeeping, she must have a really dirty house because her housekeeping is always there.
Or maybe she's just she likes to keep her house super clean. Maybe
Oh,
she's
that's
like
too.
really OCD and that they're always vacuuming, they're always cleaning and sweeping. Kaylee's better to smack something at me. Hello, Cadet Kaylee.
Oh, Cadet Kelly! What's up? This is Cadet Nathaniel.
Cadet Nathaniel, you need to put cadet in front of your name.
Oh, I could do that.
Yeah, Dad can do that. I don't know how to spell it.
It's right next to you.
You don't know how to spell cadet?
Hey,
Yeah,
hey.
I don't.
Nope,
It's
we're not
right
going there,
next to you.
Kaylee, that's enough.
What?
Do I change my username?
I'm
Here,
working
I'll
on
change it
Kaylee.
for you.
I'm
Alright.
on the phone, so
Kaylee, mute your mic, please.
it
Thank
stuff
you.
gets wobbly on my side because I'm on the phone.
Oh.
Everybody's on the computer.
So, Nathaniel, we can give you like 5 minutes. So, what did you want to talk about? Okay, I got a question for you. So we've already discussed Lower Decks. What did you think of Star Trek Lower Decks? Because that's the only Star Trek that you've actually watched and that you liked.
Good. And I also want to talk about my whole thing of Transformers.
No.
Okay,
You know what?
no.
Maybe we could do another podcast talking about Transformers. How about that? Maybe we could do a special.
No.
Okay,
No,
fine.
no,
Yeah,
no,
let's do
no,
it. Let's do it.
no.
Kaylee, please
No.
mute your mic, please.
We'll rate every Transformers movie from Michael Bay from a scale of 1 to 10.
Yay, that's going to be so much fun. Our son wants to talk about... Jenny, are you there?
I'm here. I was just reading the comments while y'all talking.
Yeah, I was too.
Okay, so Nathaniel, you never did answer the question because we only got a couple minutes because we got a long episode.
I love Lower Decks.
What was your favorite episode?
Probably the one with it's hard to explain.
What was it about?
Yeah, just tell us what it was about.
I forgot.
Was it Moist
hard to be-
Vessel?
Ooh, Moist Vessel was a good one.
Sure.
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 Okay, Mercy moment. Nathaniel out.
You gotta be ready so when we call upon you. Nathaniel, don't feel bad. He's right here. He can't see. Nathaniel, stop. But don't feel bad, Nathaniel. I remember the first time I came on and started doing broadcasting was with when Steve. By the way, Steve, you're on my hit list.
Uh-oh.
Steve. Well, you told me why. We'll talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
that.
Okay, I was like, is that it? I was saying,
Yeah,
is that the
yeah, that's
reason
it.
why?
Yeah.
This
Okay.
isn't time for tangents yet. We'll get there.
We're not. No, but Steve, we're talking about my first time being on the air. I was nervous. I was really nervous. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how I was going to present myself. You know, because most of you guys don't realize this, or maybe you do from me being on the air. I tend to have a little bit of a sarcastic personality. Just a little bit.
Oh, just
Is
a little
that
bit? I think it's so huge you can't even see it out of the screen. If y'all can see the conversations we have on our little chat we have.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing. I mean, life is too short to be too serious all the time. You got to have some fun. Sammy, which I believe she's still here, will tell you that we pick on her. Me and her go back and forth, pick on each other all day long. And then we get...
I mean, just a wee bit.
We pick on each other all the time, right? And then, just to mix it up a little bit, we pick on Howie. And poor Howie, he's so serious. He's like, what? What did I do? And then, of course, the more he reacts, the more we react to him. So the further we lay it into him.
So, you're saying we need to pick on Scott more?
Yeah.
Jay and I pick on each other all day long.
Better to antagonize, yes. Isn't that the Klingon way?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm waiting for our Klingon honor person here, Mike.
I think he said he'd be back. He had to step away for something.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, the first time I was on there, I was a little nervous, and it probably took me maybe like 5 episodes to really get comfortable. So if you guys do watch our earlier episodes, you might notice that we're a little tense, not really sure how we want to present ourselves. But we finally got it down, I think. The only other thing, I want to get back onto tonight's episode. Before we do, Steve, we saw the uniform you're wearing. Thank you for representing our fleet in your conference.
I don't know, was that the conference or was that like past year's conference?
Well, every conference he seems to wear that uniform.
That's true.
It is true.
So for those who don't know, we have our fleet founder Cameron made a uniform. Well, first he drew it out, and then a lady named Donna Whittaker actually physically made the first uniform of it. It's basically a variant of the monster maroon uniforms of the original movies, but it's in the colors of First Contact. So that is our fleet uniform. It's been officially adopted by us. I mean, so I don't know if we have the copyrights to it, but we did actually design it for our fleet. We have a special comm badge, which you can kind of see on the screen on the right hand side. Well, for me, it's the right hand. It's right hand for them too, or is it on the left side for them?
Should be right hand.
Okay, right hand side.
Wait, yeah, right hand side, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not looking. I was trying to find a picture for y'all.
Yeah. So that is the fleet badge that we have, the comm badge that we have there. So that's pretty cool. Thomas said indeed to my question about Klingon antagonizing. It's kind of helping Mike respond, but he'll be back. So, should we actually get on with our episode, or should we keep talking for another 21 minutes about tangents?
Sure.
All right, let's actually start our show.
A photo about the uniform.
All right, let's start the first part of the show like we normally do. Usually we do this probably like in the first 2 minutes. Crew reports. What have we been up to this week? Who wants to start first?
I'll go. Okay. What did I do this week? I didn't really do much. I worked. We had our lawn crew company come over and extend our driveway. So I got to do that. That was so nice. I can park in the driveway now. That's really nice. Because my city thinks that parking on rocks is parking on the grass.
Really?
And we've been doing that for years. For years, we extended our driveway because we had like a 1.5 garage. And so only really one car could fit in the driveway. So we decided to put some rocks so we could fit 2 cars in there. And when we step out, we're not stepping out on grass, we're stepping on rocks. So if it's raining outside, you're not stepping on mud.
Okay.
We've been doing that for years. We had white rocks on the side, both sides of our driveway. And then one day, city code enforcement came by and gave us a warning that we parked on the grass.
Oh.
So the option is
nothing better to do than
apparently. I was like, why don't you go to our alley behind us and look at our neighbors behind us because they know a mow. Because we have a grass alley. We don't have like a concrete alley because our driveways are in the front yard. So we have a grass alley. And you have to mow your lawn. Just that's what you have to do. Our neighbors never did behind us.
Oh. So Coley says she gets to park in a driveway and drive in a parkway.
Yep.
All right. So, but Thomas had something he wants to say here before we go on too much of a tangent. The TNG movie consent uniform is what I base my Odyssey dress uniform in FCO. Okay. That's pretty cool. Let's see. What did I do this week? Not really much.
I know what you did.
Not really too much. I just went, I might have gone down to the beach. Might have went and enjoyed our beautiful Oregon weather. Maybe.
You went camping.
No, I never said I went camping. I said I took a mini vacation.
No, you said you were going camping.
Do I need to pull this? Do I need to pull this up? Hold on. I'm going to pull it up. Let me scroll through 8 million messages we have here.
It's mainly you and Jay.
I know. Oops, I scrolled too far. Wait, what day? That was my.
Should I tell her that I was just joking and that's exactly what I said, or should I just let her look it up, Scott?
I know that's exactly what you said. So
I know exactly what you said. I'm just making sure you said. You said that.
I said that. That's not what I put on Facebook, though.
Yeah.
No, so for those who don't know, I was actually at Campgrounds of America, and they have a cabin. I mean, it was a nice cabin. I took a lot of videos and I did some pictures. I mean, it was pretty nice. It slept 8 people comfortably. So yeah, I mean, I think I posted most of those videos already. So I don't think I'm completely done downloading all my pictures and videos from the phone because I did a lot of that. I'm gonna try to get in the habit of that mainly because I want to try to that or else we'll be buying a better camera soon. Because when I start doing more vacations, also the cruise, I would like to videotape a lot of that.
Yeah, I always say that, then I get so busy I forget to do that. So
Well, you got to be careful. It's like you can videotape outside of the rooms and stuff like that.
yeah.
Mhm.
So we'll see how it works out. All
Yeah.
right, so
I was gonna say for me, it's just mainly been work and stuff we've been, dealing with around the house. They finally started that refit. That's
ooh,
what I'm gonna call it.
A
the
refit.
Mhm.
What a nerd. I mean,
Well, this is the nerd that you want to have a ring put on it.
mm-hmm.
Woohoo! I did that in 26 minutes.
I knew it was gonna happen at some point.
Me too. Okay, so, but you did also, Jenny, you did do one other thing this weekend.
I did.
Yeah, I saw the notification. Do you need a reminder?
I can't remember what I did this
Look at
weekend.
your screen. Look at your screen. Look at the screen.
I didn't do that this weekend.
I swear that said you reached the goal this weekend or this
I
week.
reached a goal. Okay, I reached a goal, but I was like, I
Yay!
didn't do it.
No, guys, she did. She reached her goal.
I reached my stretch
That is,
goal.
yes, that is awesome. And what does that do? Reaching your stretch goal.
Just means more money going to kids in need, sick kids in need. For me, I get a little those little like those little light up boxes that has letters on it.
Okay.
That was one of the I don't want to say prizes,
Hmm. No,
achievements.
but still, you actually reached your goal, and it helps people.
Yep, exactly. It goes on 100% of the money proceeds goes straight to the hospital.
Yeah.
There was no fees. There was no paying CEOs like some other charity companies out there.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah, a lot of the
100% of the money
charity.
actually goes to it.
Yeah, a lot of charity companies, and I don't want to go into politics, so we're not going to do that. But I'm saying a lot of donation charity companies, when you actually look at the fine print on a lot of those things, they tell you like, oh, yes, for every dollar you donate, it helps this person. But when you actually look at the breakdown, it tells you like 40% goes back to the administration, and then it has like all these little hidden things, and I think it ends up being
Yes,
23 cents that actually goes over to the country. It's
please, please do your research
yeah,
on what charities you want to donate. I'm going to tell you now, the Susan G. Komen one, don't do. Only 2% of the money actually raised goes to breast cancer research.
yeah.
2%.
As a fleet who likes to do charity, and our whole science division is about charity and volunteering and donation work, I would definitely recommend doing your homework as well too.
Mhm.
So that's why I wanted to mention it tonight. Reaching our goal, helping people, is what this fleet's about.
Exactly, yep.
Yeah. Which we could. You want to kind of tie that into our segue of our first topic of the night?
Sure.
Well, the first topic is going to be about Starfleet family,
Mhm.
but let me go ahead and give a little reason how we got into this first conversation. So we learned our episode for this week was Star Trek Voyager's Year of Hell. It was in season 4. I forgot
Part
the
1.
yeah,
We're going
part
to talk
1.
about part 1. Mister.
Yes. We're only going to talk about part 1. But it was the Year of Hell, and the episode starts off where the Anorax, which we don't know that's the name of the ship yet, but the Anorax comes and it launches its massive temporal weapon that causes an eradication of a population. And we don't really know the name of that population, but we know that based on that incursion, that the Zal, it was a colony world of the Zal,
Mm-hmm.
which is a
Mhm.
race, and it did a minor incursion, what they want to call what they call that. It did a minor restoration because I guess we don't really get very much information at this point, but we understand that the captain of the ship is trying to look for something. He's trying to find something, and it just seems like it's out of his reach. So they realize that, hey, eliminating this colony didn't give him the results that they wanted. So then they said, you know what? Let's take out the whole Zal homeworld. But that's kind of getting a little ahead of ourselves. But we learned but then it cuts from there, and then we move on to Voyager. And then Voyager, the first thing they start talking about, which really sets the pace of these next two episodes, is about Starfleet family, which is something that every Star Trek show has done to a point or one another. I wish TNG would have done it a little more.
Yeah.
I wish TOS would have done it a little more, but we did finally get it in the movies, but we never got it in the series.
But Discovery's doing a wonderful job in it.
Yeah,
That's all I'm gonna say.
Discovery in all 3 seasons. We can say
Yeah,
that.
all 3 seasons.
Picard, you're kind of getting that too, even though we haven't really discussed Picard. But you get that family vibe from them, even though they call themselves a motley crew, which is not a spoiler because it's in the trailers.
Yeah.
They call themselves a motley crew. You can see where they're becoming a family. And so, with that said, the whole thing about Star Trek is about being a family. Janeway's in her 4th year in command of Voyager. You know, both of the Maquis and the Federation crews are working together. They don't really consider themselves the Federation and the Maquis crew. It's just one crew, one family. The Doctor makes this wonderful toast about it. You know, it sets up the whole pace here. Go ahead,
And
Scott.
that whole toast when the Doctor gives his speech and whatnot is pretty funny because they're like, make it short, and he just keeps going on and on and on.
But how many times have you see people like that? You say,
Yeah.
okay, you got like 5 minutes, and the guy won't stop after 10. And then then 10 minutes, like you kind of remind him, hey.
And
wrap
my
this up.
question is, do y'all not people who do that, a little tangent, do they not realize that people are like losing their attention, or they're so wrapped up in their talk that they don't pay attention to people who actually are falling asleep or doing other things because their talk's so long? I always wonder that. Like, do you notice that?
Yeah, the Bob's Brian, and Brian was the guy I was talking about earlier. By the way, that comes to our Vegas dinners.
Yeah.
The Bobs. You talk about Robert Picardo, I assume?
Picardos?
No, I
Wait
think,
for the delay.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe Brian wants to have a meeting with the Bobs.
maybe. All right, so the whole idea and the whole concept is about this family dynamic on it, but you can definitely tell it's the set piece that they're going for, especially forward in the storyline.
Well, even that scene when Chakotay comes in Janeway's ready room, and he's talking about we need to abandon ship. We might have a better chance.
We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
Yeah. But right now, I'm just talking about the first part. This is, like maybe the first act, maybe this is going into the second act.
Is this right before the title sequence?
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
All right. Apparently, my daughter's doing something, and it's making my wife a little worried. Kids, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, did we get a comment from you?
Oops, sorry.
He kept talking in one long, incredibly unbroken sentence, moving from topic to topic. Is quite hypnotic.
Captain Jean-Luc
Picard,
Picard of
the
the
USS
Enterprise. Oh, no. Hey, we better be careful because we might get copyrighted.
But it's our own rendition, so we should not get copyrighted because it's our own rendition of singing it.
Yeah, we'll see if Facebook and YouTube agree with you on that one.
Right.
But that is a nice. I like that, Thomas. I like that.
Yeah, it stuck in my head. Thanks a lot, Thomas.
I know, right? Too bad we can't play it.
I know.
All right, so basically, we get this Starfleet family. We're becoming one family. And then we come back after the credits, and the next thing they want us to know about in the episode is the temporal restoration. Basically, what happens is we see the Anoraks again. They remove the Zal homeworld, and Janeway and the crew of Voyager, they're none the wiser at this point, because when they did the temporal inversion, Voyager changed along with the rest of them. When they first meet the Krenim, they're not really powerful. They're kind of a laughing matter. They barely have any territory. But they don't know that at the beginning. but eliminating the Zal homeworld caused a 98% temporal restoration, which led to a more aggressive Krenim race. For those who play Star Trek Voyager, I'm not Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek.
I was like, what?
I
Those who play Star Trek Online, sorry, we're live.
Words are hard.
You'll see that the Krenim. I thought Star Trek Online. Small tangent. I thought Star Trek Online did a great job representing the Krenim because after playing those missions more recently on Star Trek Online and going back and rewatching this episode for our homework, I was like, oh, I can see where they come up with these comparisons, because they are very aggressive. When they know they have the upper hand, their egos get the better of them, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you got this highly aggressive race, and you got this one ship that wants to enter their space. You're like, no, we're not going to let you in just because we're jerks and we don't need to. And honestly, that's well within their right. I mean,
Yeah.
laughing out, the antagonizer strikes again. Nice. The Krenim Alliance in STO. Yeah, I mean, even in STO, I don't want to go too much on a tangent on this, but even in STO, the Krenim were only interested in their own welfare. They were using the Alliance to benefit themselves. They didn't really, in my opinion, I don't think they cared about the Alliance. The Alliance was a means to an end. I don't know. What would you say, Scott? You played the game.
I don't know. I kind of agree with you. I think
Where's
you're
that?
right. Yeah.
And they take revenge pretty seriously, which kind of getting a little ahead of ourselves in the story here. But the Krenim, are very prideful people. They're very aggressive people. In a little ways, they kind of remind me of the Klingon Empire in that way, but they're not honorable like the Empire. They definitely allow their emotions and their pettiness to get the better of them.
So you mean like the Sith?
Yeah, kind of like the Sith. I'll give you that analogy. That's a good one. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So we have the temporal restoration. So basically, they restore about 98% of their homeworld. The EXO at this point is begging the captain to give up the mission to rejoin the Krenim, because one thing we're starting to get at this point is that the Anorax is not actually in. How would you say this? They're not actually part of the universe. They're just outside of.
What did they say? It was like
they're just outside of space time. I think is the best way
something
to
like that. But they're in, they're out. They said it. They in the episode they did a very
temporal
good way
phase.
of saying it, but now I can't remember what they said.
Something like a temporal phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were just outside of the phase.
Yeah.
Yes, long live the Empire. Ha ha ha. No, but so, they're just out of phase and the Krenim, but the captain's like, no, we need 100%. But that's not actually true. You actually get the first hint that the captain is not thinking about the Krenim population at all.
Nope.
You don't know exactly why yet, but for those who watch the episode, they already know why. You don't actually know why yet, but you know that he's looking for a particular colony world.
Mm-hmm.
And that colony world was not eradicated or not restored when the 98%. So he's like, no, we must have 100% restoration. But I'm pretty sure if they would have had a 60% restoration, as long as they had that colony world, pretty sure he would have gone along with it. So, again, pettiness, bickering, the pettiness between them.
Very much pettiness.
Yeah. All right, what's the other word here? Oh. The Klingons do not rebel, good sir. That is a Sith. Actually, no, it's not even Sith. That's more of the Republic stance. So that basically brings us to temporal restoration. So then, they're trying to figure out what happened, why they're, what's going on here. But the other thing that we don't know at this point, or they don't know, is that the USS Voyager, who's still taking on their people in the 98% temporal restoration, is getting beaten bad. So they're trying to figure out, how do you survive, because for whatever reason, this is where I don't necessarily agree with Janeway's character. Instead of going around their space, she decides to continue through the space. And for whatever reason, go ahead.
Oh, I say, and they don't tell us why. Like, they didn't say that it was maybe like a shortcut. I mean, they did talk about in the very beginning episode we should go back to that they merged Borg and Federation star maps basically to make one big one.
Yeah.
And so they found a new path which gives them 5 years off their 70-something year journey. But they don't say why they have to go through that particular spot in space.
And that's the thing I don't understand either. So it's like, if you know it's a hostile race, why not just go around?
Yeah.
Especially when you know the enemy is they're just as equal, or if not a little bit better than you are in technology. Sure, Voyager keeps surviving, but they keep taking damage after damage, and these Chronotron Torpedoes, which, depending on how you want to look at Star Trek, they say it's the first time, but then again, you see Chronotron Torpedoes in Star Trek Enterprise, so. You know, so a little continuity issues there, but that aside, they don't really have a defense against the Chronotron Torpedoes because they're slightly out of phase with time. So then they build these temporal shielding, so when they remove the Zal, instead of eradicating and Voyager going to another point in space, and well, actually, that's getting into the next subject here. But so Voyager is fighting them, and all of a sudden the restoration happens. They're at 98%, and that's where we're kind of getting at. So before we actually move on, we should probably move on to topic number 3. So this episode also did something I kind of liked, and I don't remember where else I've seen this before, but where they start listing off numbers of days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was really nice to kind of get the concept of, well, we know it's the year of hell,
Yeah.
but at least gives you a concept of where they are in that year.
Yeah. So on day 32 of the year of hell, the ship is badly damaged. They're taking a lot of heat. Chakotay has to make that one recommendation no first officer ever wants to make to their captain.
Mm-hmm.
And the conversation that he recommends is abandoning the ship. He may not personally agree with that choice, but him and Janeway start having the conversations about it. And Janeway's like, no, as long as Voyager can maintain us, we're staying.
We're a family.
Yeah, we're a family now. We can't abandon. We have a better chance if we stay together. So. And then Chakotay's like, you're right. We do. But, he's doing his duty.
He's like, you're right. We do. And I never liked that idea anyway.
Yeah. But as first officer, sometimes you have to make those hard recommendations that you don't necessarily want to do. What did Coley have to say here? Oh, he said 2 things. Let's start with this one. It'd be nice if they did more depth star maps and other details. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice, Coley?
It would be really nice, yeah.
Maybe with Discovery and other shows, they will now be able, that they know they have a huge nerd fan base, that they would love all the little details. We could only hope.
I mean, in Discovery, though, is little, sometimes details, but not too many. But hopefully they'll give us some more here soon.
You know what I really like about Discovery and Picard and Lower Decks is now we're getting usually what you see in the bonus DVD sections where they, after the whole series gets done, they'll interview people and they'll put it in there. We're actually getting all that stuff now. We're getting the Ready Room. We're getting little short vignettes. And I love that. And it's all available on CBS All Access. And I think some of that content's also available on their YouTube page.
Yeah, some of it's on the YouTube page.
Not all of it.
Well, the Ready Room is.
Yeah.
Lower Decks, they did put some little small details in there for the nerds. Some more like Easter eggs than I would say details of the star maps. But at least they are trying.
Yeah. So
anyways,
even though they shoot down, you can tell that Voyager is still taking a beating. This is before they do their next temporal incursion. So obviously we know that the Anorak's captain is not happy with the results. He's recalibrating, picking his next target. While that's going on, Voyager is still taking a beating. Chakotay makes his recommendation, which, like I said, that's hard. Can you imagine that? Like, you're in command of a ship, you're just trying to get home, and for whatever reason, you've already decided that you cannot turn around and leave. Or you can't go around them.
I wish they told us why they didn't. Yeah.
That's one of my biggest things I have with this episode, and I don't think that's necessarily Kate Mulgrew's problem or fault. I'd say that's more because that's what the writers put in there, and
which is fine. I know they're trying to do this whole storyline, but they need to give us a reason why they couldn't go around,
because of us nerds.
because of a storm or because this was a shortcut, something to give us more, I don't know, better that they have to go through all this year of hell.
Thomas, I'll get to your comment in a second, but I like Coley says I meant all things, not just the star maps. So yeah, I think we're all in agreement, Coley. Definitely. Thomas said the Galactic Empire and the Klingon Empire, which I'm talking about. Okay. There's only one true galactic force out there, and that's the Federation.
And I agree, Coley.
What did Coley say?
Mhm.
I love how.
I love how they.
Go ahead.
Said I love how they how Discovery shows the gem and recreation of parts of the ship. I do. I like the little bits and pieces like that.
Yeah.
Show us a little bit more.
Oh no. No. We're not on that episode, okay? But remember, in that episode, we'll go on a small tangent. On that episode, Janeway had to make a deal with the devil.
Yep.
With the Borg being the devil. Uh-oh.
We need to get
back,
him
Mike.
on here, man, again.
Welcome back, Mike.
Mike, when do you want to come back on? Should have said message of some sort. Oh, I'm going to talk about Discovery right now, but I can't.
Ooh. But no, you can still talk about the Terran Empire.
Well, no, it's something about happened in the episode.
But you talk about in regards to the Terran Empire and when they mentioned it? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You can talk off the air, though.
Okay.
Yeah. For those who don't know, we're not going to do any spoilers for Star Trek Discovery till after the whole season completes. So, and after probably a month or so, because we got to make sure people have enough time to watch it all the way through.
There's way too much good stuff going on right now that I don't want to ruin for people.
And I do want to say, don't be too harsh on the next episode. Because you were telling me you didn't think it was going to be as good as the first 5. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be just as good, if not better.
Me?
Yeah, you. You're trying to tell me that you weren't so sure about next week's episode.
I don't remember saying that.
I don't think it was regarding Discovery. I think it's the other show we're watching.
The other show. Okay. What was the other show?
Mandalorian.
Oh, The Mandalorian. No, that's an awesome show. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I said last week's episode wasn't as good as the other episodes.
Oh, shut your mouth. Just shut your mouth right now. It was awesome.
It was still a really good episode, yes.
It was.
I wish we could discuss that one, but again, spoilers.
Yeah.
But I will say,
I'm hungry for some eggs.
I had eggs for dinner tonight, actually.
You did.
Wow,
Anyways,
we're horrible. Let's stop skating on that line, okay? Klingon Empire is the best, but Star Wars Galactic Empire is the true government of its universes. All right, Mike, give it to him. Give it to him, Mike.
No. I like Coley's comment.
Hey, they have simulated Klingons before.
They have. Oh, I'm just trying to picture a similar. I just all the ridges and like the things like sticking on the ridges. Sorry, just random thought. You need to finish it.
Yeah, you do. Just like somebody, I forgot who I was talking on Facebook, but somebody was telling me about how great the first 5 episodes of Cobra Kai are. I'm like, you're still on season 1. It's been out for 3 years. He's like, well, I didn't get it on YouTube when it first came out. Guys, these shows are pretty good. Watch The Mandalorian, watch Star Trek Discovery, watch Lower Decks, watch Picard. They're all good.
All good.
Cobra Kai is only good if you don't mind the campiness of it and the cheesiness. But if you're a Cobra Kai, if you're the Karate Kid fan, and I mean, a fan, you would like it. All right, what did Mike say?
Oh.
Go ahead. All you need to know about Discovery is that the Klingons rule all time frames. This is the way. Oh, you know what I do like? Katie Sackhoff is in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I won't say how, but she's in it, and I love her. I love her performance.
Scotty told me, he goes, I had to pause it halfway and Google and make sure that was her and I'm not seeing things.
Yeah.
You make an excellent. Oh, Mike, you're gonna make an excellent tactical drone.
Coley, I love you. God, I love Coley.
I love it when our fans troll each other.
Uh-huh.
That's Coley. He likes to troll people. Not really. No, Coley's a
I mean,
sweetheart.
But
Coley-
Mike trolls us, so that's good.
It's
yeah.
true.
It's all balances. Hang on a second.
Anyway, so I forgot where we got so distracted by the Klingon Empire and Star Wars that I forgot where we were in the episode.
We're on episode 32.
Episode 32.
We're on day 32. Of
I mean,
Did,
episode-
wait.
Close.
Did Jay just initiate a temporal incursion to jump us forward in time?
I think he did.
You
we're
wait till
only-
we got for Christmas.
Yeah.
We're actually pretty close to episode 32 if you think about it.
Yeah, we are. And that didn't turn off like it was supposed to. There
4
we
more
go.
episodes.
All right, so should we move on to day 65?
Sure.
Sure.
So after this point, we jump to day 65. Crew morale's at an all-time low. Voyager systems are both frayed and failing. Janeway doesn't even realize it's her birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Chakotay surprises her with a gift that he obviously replicated in the past and wants to present it to her, but she won't do it because it's a meal. It's a hypo spray. It's so the one thing we do know about Starfleet tech is anything can be put back in the replicator and replicated down to its base materials, energy, other materials. It can be re-replicated to other things. So, for her, I think, I think she appreciated the offer and the gesture, but she couldn't necessarily take it. And they were trying to show at this point by day 65 that they're tired, they're exhausted, they're deprived. There's so much damage all around. They're having a hard time keeping up with it all. And on top of that, they're being attacked constantly. Go ahead.
I kind of wish they told us what the date was. Because now, if you really want to know, you have to do 65 days back.
Well, it's May 20th.
Right. So you May 20th, and you take 65 days behind that, so you know exactly when it's all started.
True.
Then it'll say on this day, April 1st. I don't know what 65 days, but behind 20 days, May 20th is. But
You can be here every week if you like, Coley.
yeah, Coley, we don't fight hard.
Do we do? Do we know?
Sorry.
So, like I said, we do know.
Is he trying? Are you trying to do like TARDIS noises? And we're going back in time with the TARDIS.
No.
Time travel.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's already bad enough that Scott has the Enterprise and the TARDIS on a shirt.
I do too.
Sounds like
I
you
would
need
like-
to
I
get Jay
mean,
one.
somebody won't watch Doctor Who.
No. I already told Jenny she can get me an excellent Christmas gift. And I told her I would not let my wife wear it. Even though we both know that's a bunch of crap and she'll just wear it anyways.
You mean I should find that shirt and do a small tangent?
Sweater, yeah.
Sweater.
Oh, Coley does 7 on and 7 off. Ooh, poor guy. Is it 24-hour full rotation on?
Yeah, he works at a. Well, I don't know if he wants me to tell him what he works at, so I won't say.
Oh. Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is like firefighters, maybe EMTs or other people. Like my friend Howie Goldberg. Not Howard. He hates when I call him that. Howie has a 13-hour shift. 3 days a week. So it literally feels like he's there. Oh, wait. What is Mike saying? Wait. Who doesn't like Doctor Who? Mike, it's not that I don't like Doctor Who.
Apparently you don't either.
Oh, did you just tell Mike he doesn't like Doctor Who?
If he likes Doctor Who, he would spell Doctor Who correctly.
Oh. Wow, that's a call out, Mike.
I made that mistake myself once, and then I realized what I did, and I apologize.
Oh, sorry, I was reading some of the comments.
No.
Okay. I'm waiting for him to respond to that call out that you just did. You know, it's not wise to challenge a Klingon, right, Jenny?
Yeah. But if he
Yeah,
likes Doctor Who,
He might be a casual fan.
he's only a couple hours away from me. I really don't want to raid up here.
and other news, we had 10 people, guys. 10 people
Mhm.
watching us.
Woo! Thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm just really excited we actually people watch. Because
Yeah.
usually we have a lot of more replay backs than lives.
Kind of hoping that we get more and more. So yeah, so day 65 is where we're kind of at. The crew morale systems are low. You know, you can kind of see that this isn't going well for them. You know, Janeway at this point, you know, is kind of deciding, you know, did I probably make the right call? Did I not? What are you laughing about?
You not see what he replied back to?
Go ahead, show me.
I was watching when she was in diapers. Then you should know better. We never spell doctor with DR. Dot is always Doctor Who.
Really? And the OCD police is out today. Thank you. I thought I was bad about that kind of stuff. This is why we get along so well. She couldn't figure out why, but now I think we figured it out. oh, yeah. Like, I'm afraid. I'm not the one that's challenging your honor and integrity.
Come on, let's go. Who cares about this episode of Your Hell? Let's go.
You do realize we're only 4 points into a 9-point part, right?
Yep. Who cares? Let's go.
His correct name is The Doctor, by the way. Are you talking about Robert Picardo's character, The Doctor?
Oh, Jay. You have much to learn.
No, I don't. If it's about Doctor Who, I have nothing to learn.
Doctor Who is amazing. You will
It is
really
good.
like it.
Maybe if Mike Triff would come on here and try to defend his position on that, I might consider it. But
They did do it. They did have a crossover comic book that was TNG and Doctor Who related.
they also did a Green Lantern one. What's your point?
Ooh, 10 and 4. I like 10. 4's good too.
Oh, go ahead and bring it back up. Sorry.
Anyways, we're doing a tangent.
Yep.
I give
Okay.
up.
You do? Okay.
Well, every time I click on it, somebody else clicks away on
Well,
it. So
sorry, that was me. Because he said somebody click on it, so I did.
So we'll go ahead and move into the next part of this. Temporal shields. So at this point, like I said, they're getting desperate. This I know this isn't one of Jenny's favorite episodes, but for me, even though that they're rushing through a lot of this, and I can't recall for the life of me where I've seen this kind of presentation before, where you see the number
uh-oh.
in a first. Go ahead.
What?
Was it-
You froze, so
The way-
sorry.
Well, you froze. It's pretty funny.
You froze like this. Are
Oh,
you
so what-
Ferengi now?
No, Ferengi. Okay,
Sorry.
really. Where did I leave off?
I don't know, but
We were talking about making really handing over to the board collector for assimilation. All Scott, as soon as they assimilate him, they're going to realize you're the mastermind behind this.
that's okay. Maybe he can actually come visit me now.
Ooh, there you go. Yeah,
Anyways.
Mike, we're going to go to Texas. Or come on the air with us. So, anyways, temporal shield. So at this point, we realize, that they're trying to figure out what's going on. They need to find a defense because the Chronotron shields are going right through their shields.
Yeah.
So basically, it's phasing in on the other side of the shields and impacting the hull directly. We also learn, I think it happened actually before this. I didn't actually write it down, but we know at some point Deck 5 gets blown out,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which causes a lot of damage to the ship. So they have to find a way to protect the ship, to keep it together, to keep the crew together. So 7 of 9 and Harry Kim start working on a plan to bring on temporal shielding.
Also, I thought it was really cool. They talk about family, and they talk about how the doctors program is starting to evolve.
Yeah.
Because I don't know when what was it. You know, what I'm talking about where like the doctor seems a little off because he had to make the decision as being a doctor to let those two crewmates die in the
Yeah,
explosion.
I was kind of hoping. I was kind of hoping not to discuss that part.
Well, I'm just saying it just
Well, yeah, there's a continuity error right there. For those who don't know what we're talking about, in season 5, you get an episode where the doctor learns back in season 2 that he made a similar decision and his program came
oh,
undone.
that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I did too until I rewatched this episode.
Oh.
So how could he be okay with that decision? Because, well, I guess in that is well, when he small tangent gets, and we'll get back on. I promise. I guess in that particular episode, he just literally two people, two same. So it wasn't exactly the same condition.
Yeah.
But and then he chose a friend over the other one, and that was the only separation why he chose the way he did. It wasn't a risk factor, but I guess the doctor.
Yeah, this
is
was more a risk factor, and not like he had it saved. Like he could have. It'd be different if he saved one of those, one of the
Yeah.
crewmates rather than none of the crewmates.
Yeah.
So like he
maybe
can.
so maybe the triage concept of that he was able to grasp it.
But they
But
also, that was season 2. This is season 4, right? So
yeah.
maybe they fixed the problem he had.
No, I thought it was season 5 they did that, where he comes apart, and it because of what happened in season 2 that they erase his memory.
I can't remember. It's been so long ago.
Well,
I know the
we
episode,
watched
but
it.
anyways.
Did they tease the year of hell before doing it involving Kess? I'm not sure. Good question. Mike says Temporal Mechanics Voyager is filled with temporal hiccups. Love that show, but the men in black hate Janeway and her ship. Yes and no. Voyager does keep appearing up on their radar way too often.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, getting back onto the episode topic, temporal shields. We know that the Voyager's taking a beating. They're desperate. They're coming up with plans. But this isn't the first time they've talked about temporal shielding, but it's progressed a long way since then. They keep coming up with new ideas. When one idea doesn't work, eventually they get it. They get it down. They now have a defense. The Krenim aren't necessarily backing down, but they do slow down their attack on them, their advance.
Mm-hmm.
And while this happens, the Anarax decides to go ahead and target another colony. But in the process of doing so, they actually that's going to lead to our next episode, or not next episode, our next topic bulletin point. Let me go ahead and move us to that one then. Total erasure. So what they decide is they're going to erase another species. Besides the Zal, now they're going to take out the Ganarian homeworld. But this time, because of Voyager having their temporal shields online and having a slight defense against the Krenim, apparently, and I still for the life of me don't understand how this one little ship that's not even part of that universe does not really have that much of an
Yeah,
impact.
I was wondering the same thing. How did they manage? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was like, so basically, what happens is everything gets put back to the past.
Mm-hmm.
How does one ship, because it has temporal shields, basically, convert everything back to its like old self?
Yeah, because Voyager, at this point, Voyager had only been in the Delta Quadrant 4 years. Are we really led to believe that the Krenim knew about them 4 years ago?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Dragged across the universe, and in that 4 years, it was enough of a temporal wake, or a universal impact, shall we say, that would really change the history that much.
And that they had shields, and that really should protect them, and not change the aspect of everything else happening.
Yeah, good point. So we get into total erasure. So then, of course, that draws the attention of the Anarax immediately, because instead of having a 98% restoration, they revert all the way back to pre-warp.
Mm-hmm.
And before we move on with that or discuss it, we have a few comments.
Yeah.
On on our show, I'd like to bring up all the comments because I want our audience to feel like they're part of us and interacting. What did Thomas say? She was jumping back in time. She starts at a far future, and then she keeps going back into the past because her powers are getting out of control. Sometimes, we
Oh, he's talking about Cass.
okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right, Mike has a question. Serious question. Are STO captains responsible for that time shift and also Voyager's Year of Hell? No, we're not responsible for that. I don't know. What do you think, Scott? You're an STO captain.
I don't know. I think it's the other way around. Because we wouldn't have the ship in stow if it hadn't been in Voyager.
Temporal War. Star Trek Online covers it. I blame Galloway's character. My character.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
If I was involved, yeah, the Trip household line would be gone. Okay, gone.
Yeah, Mike, when in doubt, always blame Jay. That's the
Yep.
rule around here.
We should get that on a shirt. When in doubt, blame Jay.
Mm-hmm.
See my fingers here?
Do I need to read between the lines?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. You need to. All right. Howie says, I have a character in Star Trek RPG who works with the DTI, the Temporal Investigations. I forgot what the D stands for, but I know it's Temporal
Department.
Investigations.
Department.
Department of Temporal Investigations. Thank you. Their entire mission is to fix everything Janeway did. I love Voyager, but temporal hiccups got to be too much sometimes. No, Voyager's fine. Don't worry
I
about
love
them.
Voyager.
Don't worry about it, Howie. It's all good, okay? I'm trolling Howie. All right, what did Mike say? Oh, we already covered that one. Thomas, I mean Kellen might be. Oh, okay. Hey, nothing is ever my fault.
I agree.
Sammy.
I agree, Sammy.
Jen,
It's
what are
always
you
your
laughing
fault.
about? My wife's even laughing over here. Well, I guess. Anyways, we built that ship. How do we know that the captain didn't go back in time and try to hide out there? Raises an eyebrow. Are you sure you're Klingon? I'm just saying, he's starting to sound more and more Romulan every day.
Hmm.
I'm not saying anything.
Oh, I think I finally got a spark out of him. Give me a second. I'm going to share our link.
Time delay. Time delay.
Delay.
Gotta love
Right.
the time delays.
What are you doing? Are you trying to get radio?
Yeah.
Isn't that what
Yeah.
Elio Priority One always says?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because we are great podcasters.
Or Hick Roberts on Truck Radio goes, doing it live.
Well, we are live right now.
Yeah.
We are live.
I know. You should listen to your second officer more often. You know, this guy right here, his captain character says that she can't have a child because it would be born out of time. I would like to thank former fleet commanding officer, Captain Mach, a.k.a.
Bless
Mike
you.
Tripp. Yes, I could hear you, Mike.
Excellent. I didn't know if the mic was working.
For those who don't know, that big sexy voice is our former fleet commanding officer, the guy I replaced. I like your deep voice, Mike. Seriously.
And reporter with the NPR.
Oh, there you go. Oh, really? I did not know that.
Freelance, but still.
Wait, is there a kitty cat in your lap? Or the dog? I can't see the. It's
Aw.
a doggy! Sorry.
French Bulldog.
Oh my goodness.
I like what Thomas wrote here.
Yeah.
Our engineers have to deal with temporal mechanics. Scientists was a pain. It's alive. It's simulation complete.
Incomplete.
Mike is working on Mike.
I'm not Mick.
Yeah, Mick.
Okay, seriously, what I was going on about is the temporal war. Is it the same? Is the captain that's in the episode, Scott, the same guy that we run into that helps build that ship?
I believe.
So technically, our storyline, we are the ones that help build that ship and send it back, and or he went and he basically jumped around time for a long time during the war. And so that's probably one of the times during that. That's my guess anyway. Temporal mechanics.
Hmm.
So where were you on this episode?
Oh, we're still on total erasure. Basically, they just took out the Ganarian homeworld. Spatial distortion shockwave is coming towards Voyager, and again, they're protected. First, they protected themselves from the Chronotron Torpedoes. Now, but this gets the attention of the Anorex, and of course, it gets the attention of the captain, and he's annoyed because his whole goal, and we're getting more and more bits of information about him at this point, that he's after one thing in particular. We don't know what it is. Well, for those who have watched it, we know what it is, but Jenny will be right back. We don't know what it is, and but he's annoyed that Voyager came in and messed up his plans. So instead of, apparently, according to his calculations, removing this species should have brought him closer to 100%. But the fact that, I don't know, Mike, what you think about this, but the whole fact that Voyager, who is barely even a mention in the history of the Delta Quadrant in the last 4 years, made that much of an impact. It's not like, Earth's history. Like, say, for example, if you went back and you took out Hitler, right? We've all heard these arguments.
I think it has to do with
the
the
world be a better place.
I think it has to do with the threads. It's like you can walk out your door and choose to go, oh shoot, going in with a Doctor Who episode. There was an episode where the Doctor ended up dying, all because she decided to turn, I think it was originally right instead of left. And it had to do with, it was Donna was the character. And it had to do with a choice that she made. It seems like a simple choice, but it was a choice that ended up putting her in his life. When you're talking about all these little threads that the Voyager did, even the temporal officer that, oh shoot, one of the time ships that came back in another episode, they talked about how they had to leave Voyager in that timeline. They couldn't remove it because it was like a cornerstone. The things that it did affected so many different things along the way. Basically, they're like the pebble in the pond, and the ripples are spreading outward.
Yeah.
So you may not see it, but ultimately the ripples get bigger.
I get what you're saying, but you're still thinking of this one little ship in the universe where it really has very little impact. I don't know. I don't see them going from a global powerhouse at 98% restoration. I'm wondering, what are we not seeing? I don't think it was Voyager, period. I think removing that particular race is what caused the event. They just happen to blame Voyager for it.
Possibly.
I like that. I like that better. Because maybe
What?
that race had a technology advance that they didn't realize came from that race that they destroyed or erased.
Yeah.
That, helped them grow those ships to be more powerful.
Mike, my friend Howie says, if you turn left, love that episode.
Yeah. Do you remember that episode, Jenny, in Doctor Who?
I think so. I there's so many episodes in Doctor Who that they get all.
It's the one where Donna has the creature on her back, and it has to do with if she had turned left or turned
Left
right
and-
instead of
mhm.
left.
I know who your character is, Howie. He's talking about his character in the writing. Howie's one of the guys I write with for Star Trek writing. And he's talking about his character, Thorin. And that was in comment to me talking about how one of my characters wants to have another child.
Uh-oh. He froze on me again. That's
Having
a great
child
frozen.
born out of time. Wow. Apparently I do that from time to time.
Jay, this is no time to talk about time. We don't have the time.
I thought we had all the time in the world. No, so we get there, and then I love how the fact that the insane captain guy, who's obviously obsessed, starts trying to talk like it's totally rational that, oh, by the way, this is nothing personal, but we're going to remove you now from the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
But can you imagine? I don't think he cared, but can you imagine what that would have done to the Federation if Voyager never launched? What would be another ship? What would have been the impact? That I think would have been a better thing. And we've seen that before too, where you removed an element from the history, how it unravels. Or actually, we saw it in the Orville, where the first officer decides not to go on the date with them, and it changes the whole future.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 Also, if you're going with that line of thought, you erase Voyager from the timeline, so there never was a Voyager. So
Yeah.
that also means not only was there never a Voyager, but there was never a Voyager A, B, C, D, E, F,
And J.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, that's just minor teaser. We'll say that.
I was about to say, if you're talking that, then think about Discovery. We know this already because it's previous things. They basically erased Discovery from the whole entire Federation.
Maybe, or maybe Discovery didn't get to. We don't really know how it would have impacted, but they were able to escape because they said, "Oh, our ship can travel warp 7, and they could only go warp 6." But in the process of doing that, yes, Collier, it was a spoiler. You got to be careful, Mike. We agreed not to do any Discovery talk till after the whole season ends. But so what was I saying? So we get into this whole thing about them jumping out, and of course, Tuvok's doing his due diligence, and he's saying, "Hey, if we do this, we're going to take some serious damage." But they don't really have a choice. Be erased from the timeline, or keep your crew alive and together. Which is ironic because the next time we move on to it, actually, since we have you on, Mike, do you remember what episode or what movie or TV series that Voyager stole this idea from? Where they start with like day 1, then they move to like day 30 or day 40. They keep going down the line like that. Because this isn't the first time we've seen this before.
Independence Day does it.
Oh, Independence Day does it. Okay. Yeah,
I don't know.
I liked it. I wish it would have done more of something like this.
I'm waiting for them to do a Star Trek that's kind of in the vein of 24.
That could be interesting. If they were to do something like that, I could see it being done on Discovery or Picard.
I could see that being done with Section 31 series that we're supposedly getting coming down the line.
We've had that conversation. I don't think that's going to come until after the completion of Discovery.
I think you're right.
I think
because
they don't want to put too many plates on their platter.
And I don't believe we have any idea as to what that show is going to be yet.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be in the 33rd century.
That's probably what I'm guessing, but I don't know. We don't know.
I want to make a comment, but I can't because it's about Discovery.
I want to talk about the last episode that we just saw and about this particular topic, about Michelio's character. We're going to have to circle back to this at some point.
I think I know exactly what you're thinking because I'm saying the same thing.
Galloway will get twice the antagonizing from me now. Oh,
good.
Bring it. Bring it.
Who here thinks that Galloway needs to have a Spock helmet that he wears every episode? The one with the light?
Nope.
It's canon. It is canon.
Nope.
Contraband, but it's canon.
Hey, babe.
Yes.
Who doesn't want this?
I know we're getting him for his birthday.
No. Go find that picture. You already said. I already told you what I want for my Christmas and my birthday.
Oh, I have that picture.
Yeah, share it because I think Michael will get a kick out of this.
I'm sharing it. Give me a second.
2XO raise his hand. There, you see that, Mike?
I love that shirt.
I do too.
Touch my coffee, I'll slap you so hard even Google won't be able to find you. I want that shirt or that sweatshirt. I would proudly wear that on the Star Trek cruise.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a cup of coffee in my hand too.
You know what? I should find my shirt that Scott for. Was it Christmas or birthday you got me?
Combination of both, I think.
My birthday's so close to Christmas that it usually happens that way.
Nice.
He got me a Yoda shirt and it says Dr. Pepper and it's a Yoda holding it. I can't remember what it says.
Coley, if you sent us a picture, we're not able to see that on the chat log. But Kellen, aka Thomas, why are you raising your hand?
Oh, talking about the
Yeah,
Spock
to
helmet?
see you. Spock helmet.
No, this isn't a
Yes.
vote. This isn't a vote.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Uh-huh.
No.
We need to have someone bring it up in council as an official Fleet 31 vote.
No, not gonna go that far.
Hmm.
No.
I can tell you it would be a landslide win.
I can tell you right now that the answer to that question is no. My first executive order will be to abolish that every 90 days.
Every night.
Well, how long? would
Oh,
an
oh,
executive
just
order,
wait.
Right, every 90 days, I would have to reenact it.
I will get with your wife, and we'll get that helmet for you.
It is canon.
I agree, it's canon, but no, we're not doing that today. Okay.
Hmm.
Hey, and if you walk and in lower decks, it looks so cool, man. So cool.
No, it doesn't.
Anyways,
Let's go on to day 70, shall we? Day 70, we come up to the point where they're getting desperate. They know the ship is badly damaged. They have no idea how much longer they can hang on for. They need to get their sensors back. They need to get astrometrics restored. They're just starting to put two and two together, that something caused this and something caused the temporal incursion, because they're still there. So even though they have all this information, all this data that no longer agrees with, what their sensors are telling them once they get them restored, Janeway and 709 discover what happened. Basically, they discover, that the Ganarian homeworld was erased from history, which caused a causality loop. And then the Anorax comes and visits Voyager and then tries. So I kind of jumped ahead on the last
yeah,
time.
you did. Yeah,
But that's where we learned about it here in day 70.
Is this when we have a couple of Voyager crew that end up on the Anorax?
Correct. So
Yeah.
the other thing that happens at this point is we lose Chakotay and we lose Tom's character, Tom Paris.
yeah.
The other things I haven't mentioned prior to this point was Tom Paris is already having an emotional time because his girlfriend, fiance, I don't know what you want to call it at this point, Bilana, is hurt, but she's recovering. The doctor's character is going through a hard time. The whole crew is barely holding it together.
Feels like currently in real life.
Well, I guess, yeah, we could make
Yeah.
that.
I was just thinking about that. Like, this just feels like real life currently.
Even like here
Kinda.
in Oregon. In Oregon, we're actually going right now. We reverted back to pre-COVID times, or back to the early days of COVID, where now everything
Yeah.
is shut down for 4 weeks again.
Yeah.
Oh man, we haven't shut down yet. Not like that.
So we shut down for 4 weeks, and we've also sort of closed down our borders. We cannot cross into California, Oregon, or Washington without a letter stating that you're there for what was the vital, unless you're vital to your job. You can't cross state lines, which is weird and strange because a lot of people in Portland work in Vancouver. A lot of people in Vancouver, Washington, which is just on the other side of the border, work in Oregon. So like they're not going to strictly enforce it, but if you get pulled over for a speeding ticket, if they find it, it's another thing they can charge onto you. So like right now, my wife in the next 3 months has to go and redo her certification training. We
Oh,
just completed mine. We're both security officers, Mike. So every 2 years we have to recertify. Which Jenny finds it funny that we recertify for our Oregon State license in Vancouver, Washington.
It is pretty funny though.
Yes,
It is kind of funny. But anyways, I know something I want to make a comment of.
Well, I
'cause
want
I
to
made
know
a
what this is about.
Yeah, me too. But while we're doing that, anybody catch that Neelix was wearing a uniform?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I caught that. The one and only time you ever see him in a
Yeah.
uniform in these episodes.
well, my guess is that happens because they've reached a point that they've been losing crew members, and so they need him to fill in. And
Yeah,
is Tuvok already blind at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
yes.
So
And I gotta say something
But
with that really quickly. Tim Russ' portrayal of Tuvok being blind and just how he did that was incredible.
I also want to say that we get to see a sweeter side of Seven in this episode.
Hmm.
You know, I think because she feels bad what she did, why he became blind. But that's also really cool to see her character develop in a way that, she actually understands. She feels bad. She wants to, take care of Tuvok because it was her fault that he went blind.
Yeah. Thomas, we're still waiting for an answer, buddy. I'm gonna leave it up there until you get to there. But yeah, off the air we were actually talking about that,
Mhm.
Mike, and about how I thought it was exactly for that reason. They're low on officers, and Neelix was, in my opinion, was given a battlefield commission.
I
Yeah.
just wish they kind of did a snippet of it, so because that's like something unique.
Well, honestly, you could probably do a 6-part miniseries just on the Year of Hell.
That's true.
You could.
Yeah, you could.
It makes you wonder. This episode is one of my favorites,
I like it too.
and I wonder what it would have been like, because the writing was good on it. What would it have been like if you put it in today's Discovery Picard time as far as production, where you've seen the visual effects of Discovery, you've seen the visual effects of Picard. Imagine if that had that kind of treatment. This would have been a blockbuster type.
Yeah,
It could have been.
Yep.
Don't even play that game with me. You know the question. That's the question right there.
Who was the one that was talking about assimilation earlier?
This guy.
Ah, okay.
Cool, yeah.
It's supposed to be a whole. No, we're not doing a whole season of the Year of Hell.
Oh, God, no.
We saw that in the Star Trek Enterprise season 3. The Xindi War should have been finished in like 6 episodes.
Yeah, it could
Yeah,
have
you
been.
could. Definitely.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you could have taken out. You could have shown the darker side of the Federation, or Starfleet, not the Federation. Oh, speaking of dark sides of Starfleet,
Mm,
I would love to do a comparison between that and the new season of Star Trek Discovery season 3.
I want to talk about
We're
this
gonna have,
too.
we need to write this stuff down that we want to talk about in the future.
Uh-huh.
We might have to go back and rewatch this, just so I can start writing those things down.
Oh, and by the way, so it is said, before we skip ahead, Neelix in his uniform. Honestly, I think that's the best Neelix ever looked. Neelix looks good in a uniform.
That's why I pointed
Yeah,
out.
it
I
does.
thought he looked so wonderful. Wonderful in it.
But it makes me wonder why they didn't just do that going forward.
Because he was. Wait, when did he become a RAL officer?
Self-appointed.
Yeah, self
Yeah.
morale officer. Basically, season 1.
Yeah, okay. So I was like, he's more RAL, so not a security officer, but I think he should stay in some type of uniform.
Well, because look on the Next Generation, small tangent here. The first time you see Deanna Troi in a uniform, it was just
Yeah.
a few episodes later that she was on it permanently. She was in the uniform.
Yep.
But okay, what did Coley say? No, I was talking about showing progression of all the awesome storylines that they touched on this episode. Yeah, I agree with that. There's a lot of great story here, and I'm gonna be the first to say I would have loved to watch, a 6-part miniseries on this. I think it would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd also wouldn't mind if they. I don't know how to feel about this. I don't think maybe they could do it with CGI if they went back and redid this episode. I wouldn't mind watching it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a 6-part series, kind of more in detail of things going on.
But you know what I see maybe going on a side tangent off of Voyager? And I think we talked about this last week with the new Star Trek Prodigy show coming up. I'd
Mhm.
love to see them finally give Voyager a proper, oh, you're home now. Janeway, guess what? We're going to have you teach a bunch of cadets for a while.
I
So we
hope
know
they
this is
do
bef-
something like that.
Yeah. Even if it is animated, I don't care. See Voyager coming back down to the Earth. People are, celebrating. We get that in the
Something.
book. We get it in the book, but we don't ever really get it.
Well, we technically get it, but it's a alternate universe of it, so
So it
it's
doesn't
not
really
as
count,
yeah.
All right, what did Coley say here? The writers had to set up. The network said no, but they did it on Enterprise with the worst story arc. Okay, I'm gonna actually defend season 3. I actually like the season. There was
Season
a
3 is
lot.
one of my favorites.
there's a lot of the episodes I think that could have been cut. With that said,
Name one.
name one. I don't know the name of all the episodes, but I can talk to you about them. Okay, like for example, going and visiting the Spear data and taking like 3 episodes to do that, to go over to the Spear and find it, and all that, all the little side banter, and that all could have been cut out for starters. If I rather they would have spent little time there, had the Zin. I would have rather seen more of the Zindi interact with them, and give us that little bit of Year of Hell experience. We didn't really get that until like the last 4 or 5 episodes of the series, of the season. Personally, I don't know. I might have started with the Klingon attack, then move forward where they get to the Spear, and then from there they move forward again with it, with the information, and then they get attacked by the Zindi. Then they have to go and raid the other ship that's also in there, and they steal their warp core or warp coils. I would have done something like that. I would have showed a darker side of the Federation or Starfleet going in, and doing what it needs to take to stop the Zindi from attacking Earth. Instead of, go ahead.
One of the things that I liked about them stretching it across the entire season is the fact that, unlike Voyager, except for Year of Hell was the exception to the rule for them. Mm-hmm. We got to see the Enterprise go downhill. It's like when they lost something, they lost it. They had a finite set of crew. They had a finite set of equipment. And when they started running out, And then they ran into the fact they had to deal with the problem of people stealing what they had. So they had to go and steal it back. Yeah. And I loved how they got it to a point to where when they did meet the Zindi, we had journeyed with them. So we saw them to the point that to go and have that meeting, they had to go and break their own oaths as Starfleet officers and steal from another race just to be able to have what they needed to get there. And by the way, one of my favorite episodes is the Western.
Okay. Coley says here, I like season 3 of Enterprise because I was comparing it to the Year of Hell.
Ah.
Yeah.
But, I agree with him on that, but Borg suck.
Oh.
Well, we already know that.
Speaking of the Borg. Oh, we got to hold on that one too. We haven't really discussed Picard yet.
And Klingons are too awesome to really be assimilated.
Did you forget about General Karg?
He was a dishonorable Klingon.
Just saying. General Karg.
I mean, what kind of name is Karg anyway?
I don't know. Talk to his father.
I wouldn't even give it to my Targ.
You're a poet, do we know it?
All right, Edu. I can't believe we actually got through all these topics. We're on the last one, day 73. And this is the midpoint, by the way, guys. So everything really starts picking up from this point. Mm-hmm. So basically, we meet up with the crew again, and they're at this point, everybody's talking about, that they don't know how much longer they can go on for. Voyager's lost 9 decks. Life support's almost gone. Voyager can no longer support the crew. And then Janeway is given the one order that no Starfleet captain, or probably even Klingon commander, ever wants to give, and that's to abandon the ship while the senior staff stay behind and scuttle it. Basically, They're going to scuttle the ship, and before they do that, they need to rescue Chakotay and Tom Paris. And in some ways, I know that this came before Battlestar Galactica, the remake of Battlestar Galactica, but it's kind of remind me of that aspect too. Where they send the fleet away, and then to stop the Cylons from coming at them, they scuttle the ship. They make a one last, final grand gesture, to get their crew back, to get everybody back safely, and to stop the enemy from attacking them. So we kind of get a hint that something's about to go down on part 2, but we don't know what it is yet. But for the protection of the crew, Janeway has to give that one order that no captain wants to give, and that's to abandon ship. She has all the junior officers, all the other, the Maquis crew, the Federation crew, to get into the life pods and meet on the other side. So it sounds like, that's their plan too. I don't know if they're planning on taking the captain's yacht or what they were going to do, but So we get that whole aspect, and then that's the end of the episode. The last thing you see is the escape pods launching into space, and then of course you hear the epic music, and then
Bum bum bum.
yeah,
Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum.
yeah, pretty much. But compared to other series, I think wasn't this a midway point
Mhm.
before they went to their break? Unlike other series, I don't. I really like this one, but I wouldn't say it's as good as the Best of Both Worlds, for example, or Reunification. But it's a great
Yeah.
series in its own. But Reunification and Best of Both Worlds, I think, were slightly better.
See, I think Best of Both Worlds, out of all three of them, was probably the best two-parter. Just towards the end, because it was the
Yeah.
last episode of third season, and you hadn't heard if TNG at that point was coming back for fourth season.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh crap,
And
what's happening?
yeah, because you see Captain Picard next. It's funny. I saw that today, that episode, and where it ends, where you see Captain Picard as Locutus on the monitor, and it ends with him, staring down at Riker.
Mhm.
And it's like, you really don't know. It's like, how can Picard come back from this?
Mhm.
So yeah, that was definitely one of the best. That's another one I wish I could see redone in today's
Yeah.
filming techniques and such.
Without going too much into spoiler territory, I will say I do like what Star Trek Picard series has done with the Borg. They made some people may disagree with me, but they made the Borg more depth, which
You talking about?
like or hate Voyager, what they did to the Borg, you get more depth to the Borg. Are you okay? You already moved yourself. Good. You
Yeah.
get more depth to the Borg and about what they are. You don't just necessarily see them as a villain, and I've always believed this, that a great villain is usually when you can actually see their perspective and you can cope with it.
They were more like ants before, more
Yeah.
like a cyborg insect.
Mhm.
And the Queen, it's like there was so much depth given to them, and you saw just how powerful they really are. You
Yeah.
saw how many of them there really are. You saw just how much of a hold the Queen had, and the fact that the Queen is killed in First Contact, and then you find out that there's another Queen through Voyager.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think the Queen is necessarily one entity. I mean,
Oh
one.
yeah, it's like an ant colony.
Yeah.
There one queen dies and another one takes its place, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, again, not going into too much spoiler territory, we do get to see another Borg Queen in Picard, and that's all I'm going to say about that. And I would love to actually sit down and talk about season 1 at some point. We won't do it tonight, but maybe we'll do it soon.
Yeah,
That
I
would
need to I gotta. If we're gonna do that, I gotta rewatch Picard again.
yeah.
Gives me a reason to rewatch it, and I've been wanting to do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what the one problem with Picard is?
No Klingons.
You got it.
I thought that was going to be his
Yet.
answer. And you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right on that. So Jenny, you kind of missed the last part. We already got in. We're done with topic day 73.
That's fine. I had to go let my dog in before she,
Now-
wakes up neighbors.
We can do Scott's favorite part of the show. More like, trying to keep us in line when we talk
Mhm.
about tangents.
Well, I guess my general thing, it's not even truck related. It's what happened over the weekend.
What happened over the weekend?
The Crew 1 mission from SpaceX launched with 4 astronauts on board.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
4 astronauts and what? What was
And-
with the and?
I was getting there.
All right, I'm not going to spoil it.
Their zero-G indicator was a Baby Yoda. So we have a Baby Yoda on the ISS now.
Okay. Maybe it's just me being a little sentimental and watching too much of the Smithsonian lately and watching the NASA missions from the early 60s. So I don't know if you guys have been watching it. I know we've talked about it a little off the air. My only concern with leaving it up to the civilian population, are we sure this is the way we want to send our astronauts into space, given NASA's history with space travel?
Well, they're partners with NASA, and there's a whole lot of other stuff. We could go on. We could have a couple episodes regarding all that. So
Yeah, Yeah.
So
And
for those who
trust
don't
me,
know,
Scott can talk about it because that's
Yeah.
all he talks about to me.
all I'll say
all
is
last weekend.
all I'll say is in the early days of NASA, if you think NASA is bad now, with the loss of the Challenger crew, which is sad, the loss of the Discovery crew, which is sad, it seems like every other mission NASA was losing people in the early 60s. They were doing so many untested theoretical experiments to try to keep up with the Russians and to try to, keep the president's policy promise about getting to the moon before the end of the decade. That they were taking chances that in today's society, I don't think would ever fly. You want to do what? So literally, it's like one of the episodes I was listening to. They're like, "Yeah, we're gonna strap a rocket on you, and you're gonna go up into space. By the way, we don't know how this is gonna affect you, so you're gonna have to let us know these things while you're up
I
there."
mean, that's the 60s. And you got to think about now, we have a lot more technology,
Hmm.
We only
a
have that.
lot more technology that can
We
help
only
us.
have that technology though because of the '60s.
Well,
Because
true.
because of all that pre-work that they did and all that fumbling around.
I mean, so no matter what, you know, what all technology we're doing here, in 20 years, it's going to be, our heirs are going to be better for the people in 20 years. Just how it is.
Like I said, maybe that's what's shrouding my opinion about SpaceX program and about all that. It's like because the government, even NASA, I will say this: nowadays they're a lot more better about it than they used to be. They really scrutinize things. So I don't know how much control or scrutiny they get to have over a civilian spaceflight transport system.
But
And
yet
another,
the astronauts are actually, well, I didn't get to see this launch. Was this launch like the last one? Was it conducted through NASA's mission control or was it through SpaceX's?
SpaceX's.
Yeah. So there again, it's going to be commercial then. That answers the
Mhm.
question right there. And honestly, I believe that if the governments aren't careful, what's going to end up happening is commercials going to end up outrunning them. And then who's to say that it has to be a government that sets up a colony on Mars? Why can't a corporation start its own colony and end up making its own government entity before it's over?
Oh, so we're talking about aliens now.
No, we're talking about corporations
mm-hmm.
No. I'm
doing
saying,
their own colony.
yeah.
And the
Have you
next thing you know, we have Earth, the Martians, and the Belters.
Okay, I'm saying, but have you seen the movie Aliens? All of them, all four of them.
Scott got it.
Hmm. Right.
No, I get it what you're saying, but my question still stands. Have you seen the movie Alien?
Yes,
Watch
and
your-
that there you go. The power shifts into corporations at that point.
I mean, they do have the military, but at that point, that's why I was mentioning it. Is
You know,
they're the first ones to go out there and explore, and that's how we're talking about before they met the alien or the xenomorph, as they're called later.
Mhm.
Before they actually met the xenomorphs, there's a whole colony going out there and just jumping. And the corporations control everything. Yes, they have
question
the
is,
military, but go ahead.
what would be more scary, the government controlling Mars or a corporation controlling Mars?
Corporations,
Or
clearly.
the Martians controlling Mars.
Show me a Martian and I'll believe it. No, I mean, corporations would be scary for me because instead of having guidelines and principles to follow, right or wrong, because remember, I'm a former military member, you know, I'm used to following orders. I'm used to those orders mostly making sense.
Mhm.
In a corporation, you're not under those same guidelines. You're under the guideline of making a profit at all cost.
Aren't there set rules that are actually in place that the governments of Earth agree to when it comes to colonization of other planets and such?
But that doesn't apply to civilians.
That I'm thinking it's supposed to, but that doesn't mean that it will. Kind of like all ships have to obey maritime law or something like that
Hmm.
here on Earth. I think there's something that's like that that regards to space as well, but I'm not sure.
Do you remember the movie Armageddon? When you mentioned that, that's so funny because Bruce Willis's character talks about the space drill. He's like, "What did you do? Steal a copy of the key? What did you do? Steal a copy of the patent key? Stole my drill design?" He's like, "Yeah,
Yes.
that's exactly what we did." Literally, what they told him. There was more comedy to it, but that's literally what they said.
All right. The Martian. The movie The Martian comes to mind.
Love
Do
that
you
movie.
remember when Watney is leaving to go across the planet to the other launch site where the other launch vehicle
Blondebeard.
is? Yes. What did he call himself?
Captain Blondebeard.
Why?
I think it was a derivative off of Captain Blackbeard.
It had to do with the fact. It had to do with the fact that maritime law came into effect as soon as he left the Hab, and it had to do with the fact that they could not order him to take command of that vehicle because he would be in what was designated "quote unquote" international waters. So I'm thinking that maritime law, or a version of it, is what we are looking at here. In this case, it doesn't mean that a corporation, when they're up there, is going to abide by it, but I believe that's kind of what they're hoping the situation is.
Do you like that Klingons conquered Mars?
Well, we've had Mars for decades now, but you humans aren't there, so you don't know.
Martians are only one generation away.
We have been kind of waiting, and you humans are pretty much killing yourselves. So we're just waiting until you've wiped yourselves out, and then we can move in and take over.
Coley asks, Klingon setting up a base on Mars, General Trip?
Of course. No, we've actually already have a base on Mars.
And Coley, I totally agree with that. I haven't watched all of them yet. I started to watch
Catch up, because the season begins in December.
Yeah, and I can't wait.
I know.
That is one of my favorite series right
That's
now.
probably not going to happen, but I will eventually catch up.
Oh, and by the way, we Klingons also have a Stargate there as well.
No, really?
And we begin
Wow.
our exploration through a device called the TARDIS.
That's launched from the Battlestar Galactica.
And when you go back to the moon, you're going to find out that's no moon. That is a space station.
But you realize that everything is better in the original Klingon.
Mhm.
Oh my lords.
Okay,
Oh
Coley.
my Lanta.
Okay, Coley. I have Disney Plus, and I have no idea what the right stuff is. Is that an episode?
Oh,
or-
it's a
yes.
I haven't seen it. But it's a documentary, right? Or a
I think it's a redo of the original Right
right
Stuff
stuff. Yeah.
movie. It's about what you were talking about in the 60s with the test pilots and the first astronauts. It's that program kind of it cover it. If it's what I'm thinking it is, it should cover that time frame. Because you're right, there were a lot that died in the test programs, especially test pilots.
Yeah.
But when it came to the astronauts, one of the big ones that I thought of is Apollo 1,
Yeah, actually.
when they burned alive on the pad.
Mhm.
Yeah, which one of the big astronauts in that was part of the original 7. Okay, Brian, the Terran Empire is watching me. Do I look afraid?
The Terran Empire is dead. We killed it.
So we're
Maybe-
talking about. I wanted to show y'all something.
Go
I'm
for it.
trying to find it. Is this hold on? Okay, so we're talking about NASA and all the stuff. So Scott and I went down to the Kennedy Space Center. Is it Kennedy?
Mhm.
Johnson. No, wait. I get them confused.
Kennedy is
John?
in Florida. Johnson is
Johnson.
in Houston.
Johnston. We're going to Kennedy in 2022. Johnson. So Scott and I went down to Johnson when I've been several times, but I thought this was really cool. I'm going to screen share it to y'all.
So, Coley, while you're screen sharing, Coley says the
Ooh,
HBO
nice.
from Earth to the Moon is awesome. Okay.
So this is actually one of the uniforms that went up in space.
Oh, is that a
One of
Voyager?
the mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I think it's like zoom, but yeah, it actually went up into space.
Nice.
I thought that
That's-
was really cool.
That's not the one the lady was wearing.
No, the lady who was wearing it was red.
That's what I thought.
This
So
one
there
I
was
can't.
another one.
I forgot to take a picture of the plaque, but Scott took this
I-
one, but
I was gonna say I thought I got that plaque, but who knows?
Well, I can
we
honestly
go.
say that was not there when I went. Of course, I went in the 70s. So
There's a plaque.
when you went, was the TOS shuttle there?
It was. I showed pictures of it.
Mhm.
That is a cool thing.
These are all the pictures when we went. I've been several times. We actually did the VIP tour,
hmm
Yeah.
and we had to go behind the scenes. And so, like, this is where they practice the zero gravity in the
Yeah.
water. Thought that was really cool. I know we took a picture of it. I just gotta find it. These are all of our NASA tour photos.
Isn't
this
it
was,
amazing?
Speaking of zero gravity, besides the water one, I
This
also
was
learned
a-
about the vomit comet.
Yes.
This is actually a live of Control Center, the new one.
Is the new one bigger than the old one? Because the old one was small. It was
Like
amazing how small it was. Yeah. It's amazing how small that original one was.
Well,
Yeah,
they probably
it was.
needed to be close together so they could hear each other. Even though they had mics, you got to realize mics suck. Especially back in the old days, like in the 90s, when you tried using them.
This was really cool because we got to actually sit down and actually, look at the actual stations that these people lived, and did all the space mission work on. I thought it was really cool.
That would be cool.
Thomas said, "My girlfriend is from the Houston area. Next time I go down there, I'm going to go straight to NASA.
Mhm.
It was really
Yes.
fun.
Go home. Go back to
I
the
thought-
barge where you belong."
Didn't we take a picture of it,
Darn
babe?
Klingons.
I thought, or
We're
no, you know what?
Going to Mars.
It was there, and then it got sent to New York. It was there right
Oh,
before we came.
I did. Okay, give me one moment.
I
I
think you
have a
have
photo of it.
Okay.
Let me go to.
Coley said they actually filmed Armageddon in that control center.
hmm
How did they make it look updated then?
They didn't. Those are the actual consoles. Now they've taken it since then and kind of not cleaned it up, but made it more professional looking, I guess, retrofitted, whatever you want to call it. Because
Well, But was that really the same place? Because it didn't
Yes.
look like the same place.
it was the same place.
Hey, don't forget first contact with the Klingons happened here in Oklahoma.
This
That
is
is
true.
technically true. Yes. Broken bow.
Yes. That's where
Yep.
the first Klingon got a corn cob up his
So-
butt.
I thought it was funny because y'all know I work in a
Really?
hotel,
Go ahead.
and every time I check some in from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, I think of
Mhm.
that episode, and I want to make a comment, but they won't have no clue, so I can't make a comment about it. But I think about the episode all the time. Just FYI. Okay, here's some better pictures of.
Okay.
I'm doing it. Hold on. Takes me a minute to screen share. Here's more of the live view of the new one.
That
That's
is
pretty
way
small.
different.
That's small though.
Yeah.
It's bigger than the other one.
Is it?
The other one was more longer too,
hmm
Yeah.
but it was still small.
This is the first time I did the VIP tour, and the first time was so much better when Scott and I did it. They were doing some renovations, so we couldn't go eat with the NASA crew and the astronauts. So we had to go to off camp or off the base campus, whatever we call it, and eat somewhere else for it because they were redoing the cafeteria. But yeah, I thought this was really cool that we got to see and only if you do the VIP tour, you can do this, like the actual live view,
Okay.
because you don't get this in the regular tour if you go to NASA or if you go to Houston one.
Even though we don't have corn in this part of Oklahoma, Broken Bow actually grows peanuts and wheat. Okay, I guess a little continuity issue.
Yeah, see, there's more control. They have like separate control centers too, so that was
so
really
it's not
cool.
all in one room anymore?
Yeah,
That's
it's all
right.
around one room. This is like the major one. I think the other is like I can't remember what they said. It was a long time ago when I did this tour.
You know what the interesting thing is, speaking of NASA and space control, and The other thing they're talking about is the lem and how that came to be.
Hmm.
They literally had no time, so they built this ugly looking spider thing. Can you imagine that that people lived in that thing for 7 days?
Mm-hmm. Here's a more picture of it,
Yeah,
of the old one.
I guess it's so bad that it's like it was thick as aluminum foil in some parts. So they when they turned out the space heaters in Apollo 13, ooh, I'm surprised the thermodynamics of the space didn't kill them.
Yeah.
Which tells me that they probably had a little bit of heat in there, probably from their own bodies. But
Hmm.
I mean, look at this nightmare of wiring from the
yeah,
old time days.
Hmm.
Isn't that crazy? I
yeah.
know I had pictures of the Galileo. I'm just trying to find it.
That wiring looked like something O'Brien would have had to deal with on DS9.
Hmm.
Oh, the other thing I loved about the
Oh,
capsule.
this is the Orion, like the
Right.
prototype of the Orion.
The thing I really liked about the capsules, and you didn't see unless you actually watched the NASA episodes, because they didn't show it like on any of the like Apollo 13, is do you know the capsule actually had a bed?
No, it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
It
I remember
actually
them
has a
talking about
bed.
that on the tour.
Yeah, so it's a one bed, and the crew took turns sleeping in it. So this little capsule, which held 3 people, had a bed, had 3 seats, it had a little place where the crew could stretch their feet if they had to. Couple of portal windows. So it's like, yeah, this thing. It took the I think it's the very first tiny home ever. It took it to a whole new level, because I don't know where they went to the restroom, and I don't think I want to know. But it's I mean, it takes a whole new meaning to the word tiny home. It also stored their food. It stored everything they needed to
Hmm.
survive.
Well, didn't they have like a little vac system that they would use to, well, when they had to relieve themselves? Because isn't that one of the things on Apollo 13 that they kind of
Mhm.
show?
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
They did show it.
Yeah, because
They showed
they
the place
the
where
release valve, the constellation Uranus,
Urine.
Urine. That's it.
And here's a photo. And the tour,
Mm.
they have a spot where like you can kind of understand like how it was. And so this is them showering. And so you walk through this like platform, this bridge, and this
Mhm.
whole thing is turning in circles to get you the concept of, they're always going to be floating and turning in circles, and that's how they showered.
Jeez.
I always thought that was interesting. So they could do their
That was in the
turn and
capsule, or is that on the space station?
I can't remember. I think this was a space station. I
Okay.
think.
He said that looks too advanced for the capsule.
Yeah, I think this was a space station.
Hmm.
So yeah, here's them like floating in circles in the space station.
While you're looking at the pictures, Coley says From Earth to the Moon, starring Tom Hanks and Ron Howard, made it. It's a 10-part series, and he recommends that we watch it on HBO. Okay. I don't have HBO, so I'll have to find out another way of watching it.
I have HBO. Let's go on these fast. I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop so you don't get sick of me scrolling. I have a photo, I just can't find it.
I might just do what I did with the other show that I started watching, His Dark Materials. I waited till it came out on DVD, and I just bought the whole entire season. I might end up doing something similar if it's a good show, and like His Dark Materials is based off the Golden Compass, but it's a book series actually called His Dark Materials, and then Golden Compass is just one of the books. So it's a pretty good series so far. I'm only like halfway through it. I agreed to watch that with my friend Mike Merkin.
That was one of my things you should
Coley says
watch.
it's an old series. Okay. I always loved the aesthetics of the space station from sci-fis of the 70s.
Mhm.
Nice. It's better than the 50s and 60s where everything was made out of wood.
This is very true.
So if he's talking about the 70s, does that include the Death Star?
All right. Hey, Coley, I'll put it on my Amazon wish list and you can get it for me, buddy. Hey.
Or is he talking Skylab?
No, he's talking about from Earth to
Ah,
Earth to
okay.
Mars or whatever it was. Yeah. I'll look at it, and if it's reasonably priced, I'll get it probably after the holidays.
Aha! I found the photos. I found them.
All right, show us.
Sorry, I was really excited. I should quiet down.
Ooh, pretty.
This is when it was out in the open. Then they moved it to the cafeteria area, and then they moved it to New York.
Yeah, I got to see it in New York.
That's my friend and I.
Well,
Yes, we're both wearing Star Trek clothing, Star Trek outfits. She actually made that dress. She made the dress, and I made that skirt.
I don't know what Coley means by this, but he's saying that his wife got it for him to take him to the Osan Air Base. Thomas
Oh,
said, "Hey, don't."
Is
mess
he
with
saying he got the series to take with him to the airbase?
Mhm.
maybe
Was he stationed
Mhm.
there?
his wife was. Then
No.
Thomas is saying,
No,
"Hey,
Coley
No, Coley was Air
Coley
Force.
okay. Hey, don't mess with the Jupiter like that." Also, yes, the Death Star. What? When did we start talking about Star Wars again?
No, that
Because
was the question when the 70s. I said, does that include the Death
Oh.
Star?
Yeah, okay. That right over my head.
two people, one liked us and one laughed at us.
I can tell you who there was. Brian laughed at us,
Brian laughed at us.
and Thomas liked us.
Yes.
Thank you, Thomas. We like you too. And Brian, I expect that from you.
Hey, I'm just happy. Thank you, everybody. We still have 8 people.
I know, right? Watching us live. I'm curious what the analytics for this week's episode will be then after.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, because even Priority 1 only gets like between this many and 20 people. I don't know how Steve gets so many. Maybe they don't have anything
'Cause-
better to do with sci-fi or sci-fi. Oh no, he's on my hit list, Mike, because he's using our fleet uniform for official SFI convention stuff.
Mhm.
Isn't that in the bylaws that you're not supposed to do that?
Mhm.
But what do you do to the guy who's in the fleet, and unless you want to start it in a fleet incident?
Well,
I mean,
we know we do have this Klingon chapter.
Let's see.
Ew.
I think he needs to he needs to have written in gold somewhere on his uniform where it can be visible, property of Fleet 31.
I like it. Okay, I would say yeah. Okay, I'm not an alcohol drinker, so Coley, I would say yes to the one that the TV show talked about, but not to the Roctagino that they sell to us Earthlings here. Because the Ractagino actually has like coffee liquor and a bunch of other little liquor
Oh yeah,
sweetening
Mhm.
things.
I've made it before.
Yes, Thomas, we do have a Klingon chapter. You actually are talking right, or you're. How would I say this? We actually have our special guest host. Our guest tonight is Captain Mock, or also known as General Mock, of the IKS Stormblade, right?
Yes.
See, I got it right.
I like how it took a minute to think that's what his ship
Actually,
was called.
actually, it's the Dark Star.
The Dark Star.
Yeah,
Well, wasn't it the Stormblade at one point?
it was, but we ended up switching to Dark Star. IKS Dark Star, and we're also with CAG.
Yeah. How does one get on in that? Well, you would talk to Mike. You reach
Go
out
to.
Mike.
How does one get in on that? Are you talking about CAG or are you talking about a Klingon chapter within the fleet?
He's talking about Klingon chapter.
Basically, you would form it just like you would any other chapter in the fleet. You have your members decide that they want to go Klingon and they go that route. Now, my chapter also has a Federation half, but primarily we're Klingon.
But CAG, since he's new, he doesn't know what that means. It stands for the Klingon Assault Group.
Right. And their website is CAG.org. KAG.org.
Good group of people.
Mhm.
So, all right, let's take a look here. Klingon. Really, Klingon? Really?
Klingon.
And there.
We don't have any Klingon chapters, just Klingon.
Maybe you
What
should
about
have some
Blingons?
Klingon.
Do you have any Blingons?
I've seen Blingons. I think they're the ones that have all the medals all over their chest.
And in their little ridges.
I think of oh my gosh, the reboot Star Trek Klingons with the little rings in our.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
The Blingons.
Those are Blingons. Don't look outside my house though, because I have a
Why?
25-foot flagpole and I'm flying a United Federations of Planet flag.
Why is that?
I got to find a Klingon flag. I got to find
do?
a quality Klingon flag.
I thought you got one for.
I
your-
want to do that
Yeah.
so
I have
bad.
a chapter flag, but I don't have a
Oh, just
I
straight
have
up
a chapter
Klingon
flag. I don't have a straight up Klingon flag. Yes.
Okay.
So
And
when
one of the-
Scott actually moves down here, we're definitely gonna be flying a Federation flag.
Hmm.
I still have my Starfleet command flag that I won a couple years back during
Oh.
the second Star Trek or not Star Trek Fleet 31 dinner. That Mike.
I want to talk about something, but I can't. So I'll wait.
Is it related to one of the shows?
Discovery.
Actually, we can hint that. Are you talking about the new Federation flag? Mike Tripp just picked one up. Or not Mike Tripp. Mike Malamai just picked one up.
I know. I saw he made a.
You can special order anything online.
Yeah. I need to get
Because
with
he
him
made
and find out
he
where
made
had it made.
he made the box that the flag was in. Okay, Smile spoiler. If you, I don't consider it a spoiler alert, but Discovery. If you don't want to hear it, then mute yourself for a hot second. Because Mike made a clear one. Mike Malamai made a Malamai.
Yeah.
Made it clear of that box, which I thought was cool.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's the flag, and in the center actually has the Starfleet symbol.
Mhm.
You know, the reason I'm actually flying the United Federation flag outside right now is because to me it is a symbol of hope. And if there is one thing that we need right now, it's hope. And so that's why it's on my flagpole. But I do plan on creating a Klingon flag. Now, the problem I have with the Klingon flag, as you see online, most of them honestly remind me of too much. The colors are too much like the Nazi flag. So I want to get one that's a little bit different. So I'm going to have to design it myself. But that flag, I really would love to have the Discovery future flag. That was cool.
I was trying to find a photo of our uniforms, and this is the first one I found. Because we were talking about them. So
Yeah, who are those two guys in the background there with Mike?
this is weirdo with his black hair.
I don't know. But look at him standing tall.
Who's the person in front right?
Front right?
Yes.
That is, isn't that Jeanette?
Yes.
That's Jeanette. Sweet
Yeah.
lady.
Yeah.
Then, of course, Michelle. Then my mother, Berdina. Mike.
Who's this
Oh.
handsome man right here?
Yeah, oh, who's the guy behind him? Shout out. Shout out. Can you send me a copy of the Can you send a copy of the photo? That's Brian, for those who don't know.
It's on
He
Karen
may
Malamay's
not be friends
Facebook
with
page.
Karen.
Oh.
Maybe you could tag him.
I don't think I'm friends with Brian.
Guy.
I'm such
Wow,
a great
Jenny.
fleet
Wow.
commander, aren't I?
I feel sorry for Scott because right now we have Scott's face buried.
Oh. Well, look, now he's not very. Now he's not buried anymore. But yeah, we were talking about the uniforms. I've been looking for a uniform for a while, and I finally found
What'd you find?
this photo.
Oh, no, I actually want to make a new Admiral uniform. I want to do it in the Picard series, though. The Picard style uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Because that one, I could just put my Vice Admiral pips on it.
In other words, Fleet 31's uniform isn't good enough for you anymore.
Go back to that page.
I know you
All right.
have it,
Okay.
but you're
okay,
trying to
never mind.
replace it. You're
I'm
trying
not.
to upgrade.
I
No,
was trying to tag Ryan in it, so
Okay. No, I'm not trying to replace it. I'll proudly wear it, and I'll proudly wear it to the fleet dinner. I think on the cruise, we're actually going to try doing the fleet dinner. We just need to find out who in the fleet's going to go, because I know
Yeah.
Jamie's gone in the years past, Jamie Snyder. Michelle's gone in the years past.
Mm-hmm.
So there are people who do go on that
But
cruise.
yeah, I don't have him as a friend on Facebook, so I'll have to.
Send me a link then in our cruise chat, and then I think I'm friends with Brian.
I'm not a dog.
I never said you're a dog. Kaylee. Kaylee doesn't like when I pat her on the head, even though she's like trying to cut off my arm circulation.
Yeah, that's different.
Okay, I'm friends with Brian. I can send it to him.
Okay. But I don't know what you want me to. You told me to show this again, so
Well, no, just can you copy that link so I can see?
Yeah.
Oh, you said it's on Karen's page.
yeah, it's on Karen's page.
Let me see. Is it on her front?
No, that's why I found it. I went to Scott's page and went through like things he's been tagged in,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I found it. But I'll show it to you.
Oh, like
Great TV, great podcast time.
I was gonna say TV.
I mean, well, I mean, words.
Like here's some more of Karen's. Like right there.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool
Mhm.
picture. I like that one.
Hey, I know
It's
that person.
it's always fun to see their cosplays.
Look
They
at
are
this.
so fun.
Make it go.
Oh my gosh, our little cruise chat we have some great cosplay ideas going on now.
Oh boy, you're gonna really make us see that, aren't you? Try to find a
Pictures or it didn't happen.
Well, we'll wait until
picture.
2022 because
It's not gonna happen.
Video preferred.
Oh, I could do video.
we have some very clever ideas going on. We have some
Mhm.
very unique people in our group.
Yeah, there is. I actually like him. I can't wait to meet Matt. And if I don't see him with 2 beers in his hands, I'm gonna be like really questioning.
Matt's great. I'm sad that we couldn't go. So Matt he ran a brewery for a while. So when we call him Matt Brewery, because he ran a little brewery or like a little bar type place
Mm-hmm.
up in Virginia, right? Or
In Norfolk.
yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, Brian. Let me tag you on this.
Let's watch him do Facebook stuff. Woohoo!
I gotta remember how to tag somebody.
You open the photo up, top right corner, it has a little price tag thing. You click on that.
Oh, the price. Thank you.
We so smart. We make things
Fine,
go.
God, I love them and Lower Decks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's another Enterprise.
Oh my lord. Oh,
Come
my
on, you gotta admit. Okay, Mike. Since you're on here, what was your first reaction when you heard the TNG music playing in the background and the Titan just jumps in?
I got misty-eyed. I really did.
Mhm.
I was like, yeah.
And it's just like, no spoilers, but
Yeah.
the last episode of Discovery had me misty-eyed several times.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Scott's draw was on the floor in the first 5 minutes of Discovery.
Mhm.
Yeah. Are we talking about season 2?
last episode is what she's talking about.
Oh, this last week's episode.
Mhm.
Okay.
I will say this about Discovery: they need to
say
show
anything about
more
it.
cat.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. So
No.
speaking of cat, so remember last week episode we were talking about vacations and do they use cat boxes
Oh
or?
God. Really?
So I posted on one of the Star Trek pages I'm
You
part of,
did. I saw that.
and someone goes, "Do they shed?"
Yes.
You know what's really scary?
No
is
one
the
gave
fact-
me answers, but people kept asking more questions, quit adding more things to about vacations.
Ugh. Yeah,
One
you know what's
of
really scary about that? The bestiality that the cat wanted to do a human. Ugh.
One of
Ew.
my favorite moments in Lower Decks was when the Cation doctor starts going, making all the cat noises, and it's like, oh wait, and then talks in common.
My favorite comment of hers is, "Fine, be a scratching post." Hairball.
Right? Wow.
Ugh.
I'm not even paying attention to the chat. Sorry.
Bad J.
Oh, bad.
Bad J.
I was looking
Or
at
I
Karen's
guess you say
photos. I was looking at
bad
Karen's-
J. Bad J. Read between the lines?
I think it's self-explanatory right there.
Well, I was just doing sign language. This is bad. This is good. This is words. So bad words, good words.
You remind me of the movie Congo.
Star Trek.
You remind me of the movie Congo.
Never seen it.
Oh, jeez. There's
Star Wars.
there's a the movie Congo stars this ape, and she can sign, and so she knows how to sign, so she can speak to her trainer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of funny. Hey, that's not true, Coley. That is not true.
Are you sure?
I am very sure. That is not true. You all mean a lot to me, okay?
Oh, excuse
Really?
me.
I'm Borg now? I thought I was Romulan. Isn't that what Mike always accused me of being, and I always accuse him?
What's wrong with
Pretty sure you're
Romulans?
Romulan.
What's wrong with Romulans?
Let's write
Depends
about.
on-
Okay, let's
Depends
write
on
about
what year Romulans you want to talk about.
every year.
Picard Romulans? Or TNG Romulans? Or
Well, my character has always been portrayed as having a quarter Romulan. Grandfather was Romulan.
Ah.
wait, so are we his drones then, Coley?
Well, you all suck as drones then. I would be the worst leader ever.
Oh, excuse me.
No, do not encourage them. Do not encourage them. Why are we encouraging Jenny and Scott? Poor Mike, he's so innocent.
Well,
trust me, Jay. Scott and I have something up our sleeves.
For what? For the cruise or for near future?
Wouldn't you like to know?
when you sit in the big chair, you are a servant of the fleet. So that makes you our drone, yes.
Hey, none of this was in the fine print, Mike. When you say, "Oh, sure, Jay, it's going to be great. You're going to have a great time."
I can't
Yeah.
help it.
Yeah,
I can't
Jay.
help it that there are certain people that will remain nameless that had certain clauses added to your contract when you weren't looking.
I think that happened to me. Jay's like, "You should join. It'd be fun. Come on, be my partner. Come help me run the fleet."
Does anyone else looking forward to the day that we can actually have in-person meetings again on a regular
Yes.
basis?
Yes.
Amen.
We
Yes,
still
ma'am.
we still have to do our Mount Vernon trip, Mike.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I thought everything was starting to settle down, and here we are again. Maybe in
Yeah.
the spring.
I don't want to get too political, but I honestly think part of the problem is that people. I don't want to get politics into this, but if people would just listen to the rules that are laid out for them, I think we'd be in a better place. And right now, no matter what side of the house or coin you're on, either people are celebrating, people are protesting, people are
Mhm.
rioting. And even though some of those people may not get injured or sick or, or get COVID, they can still be an asymptomatic carrier. And then they're bringing it back to all their friends and their people, and it's spreading this way. It's like, I personally know somebody who's died of COVID. I know Steve's known somebody who's died of COVID. He's
I've
had,
known a few people that have died of it.
yeah. So, I mean, it's a really scary thing. I mean, yes, the masks aren't that effective, but they say, it's better than nothing. Better than just breathing directly on the person.
I like that little graphic they have of man peeing on
Yes.
to show you about masks. That's perfect. Perfect explains. And wearing your mask,
Honestly,
can't breathe, then that there's another problem with you.
Yeah.
I
And
think the
top problem.
further, I'm hoping the further we get away from the election, the better it'll be. That's
Mhm.
my hope.
Mhm.
The more common sense can start to come into play. And I'm going to say this, and it's not really political, even though it is to a point. I've seen people on both sides that agree, that believe in wearing masks, and I've seen people on both sides that don't. And it comes down to exactly what you're saying. The cartoon where they're peeing, shows the peeing on the, with the pants and all of that. It's
Mhm.
exactly that. It's just common sense.
Personally, I don't like wearing the mask, but I do. I don't like the idea, and I also don't like the idea that kids who have asthma are not required to, but they're required to wear them.
Consider it like a cloaking shield, and cloaking shields are cool.
Yeah.
And they can
But-
save your life.
Yeah, but there's like harmful bacteria in your mouth, for example.
Wash your mask, please, people. Just
Yeah,
wash them.
Please wash your mask.
Mhm.
I usually get disposable masks and replace them daily. If they get wet, just like the hospitals do, I'll replace them then too. Every day here in Oregon, it's been raining. If I ever go outside, then I have to throw that mask away and replace it with a new one.
But the problem I have, so I work for I work for a hotel,
Mm-hmm.
and they send out these like videos for us to watch about, the training videos. We all have gone through them. We all know what they are. But they're like, every time your mask is wet, you need to change it out. And I'm sitting going, are you gonna give me 8,000 masks? Because every time I just talk, my mask is wet. Granted, yes, I wear, these are the little disposable ones. I was like, I'll be changing it like every 2 hours if it gets wet. I can't afford to buy so many of those.
Yeah.
But I do, if it gets too wet, I have tons. I use the fabric ones, so I wash them.
Okay, so hopefully vaccines start working soon, Coley says. Thomas had a question here about neck gaiters. They're about as effective as masks, in my opinion.
Mhm.
But
they're too thin and they tend to spread pot. If you look up the research, like the best mask to wear, mine is like the N95s and all that stuff. The gaiters are the lower end of the graphic.
But I will say this: the gaiters are the easiest ones to breathe through.
Because they're too thin, so they're not really dispensing. When you talk, you're still dispensing out the droplets.
But then again, it goes back to the bacteria and everything in your mouth, and all you're doing is reintroducing back into what you're spewing out.
Because you put it down your neck, and your neck's not as clean. That's when I hate people who put their mask down over their neck. Like, first off, doesn't that hurt your ears? I don't know about you, but if it's pulling on my ears, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, they said never do that. If you're gonna take a mask off, let it hang by your ear because it's already on your cheek and stuff. Don't put it underneath your chin because your chin is not clean.
Because in my work area, luckily, I have my own lobby area with 2 secured doors. The only time I have to put my mask on is when somebody walks in, and I keep it by my ear and I put it right back up again.
Yeah.
Just a peeing one.
Yep.
God.
I mean, it's a great thing to tell. It's a great way to explain.
Kellen wears his over his head. Okay.
It also comes down to a respect thing. If you're wearing a mask, it's showing respect for the others that are around you.
Hmm.
Mhm.
It is.
If we want to know about masks, I have to show you the one I posted the other day.
All right, make it quick.
It's a cute one. It's
Oh,
a
yeah,
really
that one.
cute one.
I know which one she's talking about.
And it's sci-fi related, okay? It goes back to our podcast.
Yeah, see, I don't know about this. This is the way. Wear a mask. No,
Mask.
no, 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 no.
I mean, technically this last one would work. You just can't see. Technically.
No, that last one reminds me of episode 3 of The Mandalorian, which I can't really discuss more.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
talk about it off the air.
It reminds me of aliens.
Yeah, exactly. We'll talk
Yeah.
about this off the air.
Mhm. But anyways,
Wow,
I'm
guys.
waiting for someone to make a mask that it looks like one of the alien creatures, one of the face huggers from Aliens
I think
That
somebody
that would
already
actually
had.
pretty
fit
sure
around the
somebody
ears
had
and
one.
such.
I've
That
seen
would be
those
cool.
before.
I would buy that if I could find it.
Oh, just like the tentacles, like looping around.
Yeah,
the
have
ear.
it where it loops around,
Yeah.
and
I seen
instead
one
of
somebody
covering
made
your
one of
whole
those.
face, it just covers the lower part.
Mhm.
That'd be cool.
Well, also have to cover the nose, so it's like be like that and sticking out.
I seen somebody make one. I'll have to find a photo of it later.
My friend Mike has this shirt that says "Need hugs?" ? And it's a picture of a face hugger. Hey, they're friendly.
Yeah.
So, guys, I think we're coming up to the end of our show.
Oh my gosh. We
That-
did over 2 hours. Holy cow.
I know, right? Doesn't feel like it, but we can also discuss off the air Mandalorian 3. Wait, what's he saying? You guys see that guy who made the sci-fi themed self-opening masks? I have no idea what you're talking about. Have you guys seen this?
I have no clue what he's
Mm-mm.
talking about.
No.
Do you have a link for us? Gotta wait for the delay.
Gotta love the delays. This is the delay song.
Hey, this is the way.
Yeah. This is the way.
I love it.
Ooh, we get off here and we talk, and then like an hour and a half, then Discovery out.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I have a couple of interviews for a story I'm doing for the local NPR station, and I deliberately put them after lunch so that I could watch Star Trek in the morning.
He's gonna post it in Discord for us.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm there on Discord.
Me too. Actually, I'm invisible because somebody has to call me out on Discord.
Scott, that's not nice of you. What are you doing, man?
It's not me.
Yeah, I have do not disturb on, so Jay will leave me alone.
Hey,
You can
whoa,
be
whoa,
logged
whoa.
in and invisible.
Stop right there, okay, Jenny? Who's the one that if I don't respond, like within an hour or so, you're like getting messages, Jay, are you okay? Then 5 minutes later, Scott's giving messages, Jay, are you okay?
That's because the day before I came out to 40 messages between you two, and the next day was like nothing. And I'm like, is he okay?
Yeah, today
40.
we didn't talk much.
Wait a second. 40. Was that a light day for us?
Yeah.
Probably.
Actually, I think during that time I was ramping up my crew and I was having to train a bunch of people.
Humans.
So now I'm up to like 10 people
Oh, Colin just sent it in the chat too.
after the stream.
You can run, but you can't hide. That's what he posted in the Discord.
Oh yeah.
Hey, if you haven't joined our Discord, you should join our Discord.
Hold on, I'm
Community
getting there.
manager.
Hey, look at that. Somebody has Discord open right now.
Me too.
No, I actually have it on the share screen.
That reminds me, I need to reinstall it on this new computer.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a new computer. I want a new computer.
Oh wait,
Oh.
what did that message say before Coley's message? Damn, you beat me to it. Sharing tonight's link. I do admit you make it look prettier than I do.
You just sent a link out. You didn't make it, you know.
I did say join us live.
Yeah. I do a better job than you do.
Yeah, you do. See, this is why you're a good fleet deputy commander in a
And-
couple years. When it's your turn to be fleet commander,
No,
you'll be ready.
I don't want to be fleet commander.
You haven't told him that he's got about another 20 years in the job.
Yeah.
20
That's
years.
also in the fine print.
I
You know
mean,
what's gonna happen? Kaylee's gonna turn 18, then she's probably gonna assassinate me to take over the fleet. She's already threatened to take my ship several times.
Jay,
Look out.
we are
Uh-oh.
getting close to re-election again.
Uh-oh, look who just joined us. She's hiding out the camera.
We are coming up in an election again.
All right, so here's what we'll do. You can be fleet commander, and I'll be captain. You're right. Actually, guys, I am going to be running again for election. I want to see us through this. I want to see us through COVID.
I want an
That'd be nice.
actual year that we can actually do things.
That would be nice.
This
It
year
was
just
sexy.
seems like we've hit. Please stand by.
Mhm.
I feel like we are on the longest call wait. You know, we've been put on hold for almost
Yeah.
a year now.
Yeah.
All we need is Fleet 31 music to play in the background. Da, 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 da.
All we need.
What do you guys use a Windows app or anything for Discord?
I download it.
I download the client.
Okay, that's what I'll
That's
do
what
then.
this is right now. It's the client.
I usually mainly use my phone, but I'll use the computer sometimes too. But I use my phone mostly.
All right, who smells like lotion?
Is that a bad thing?
Oh, it's a little strong.
Oh. I mean, at least they're putting lotion on. It is that winter time. Dryness is coming around.
Yeah. Now they're gone. I can actually breathe again. Uh-oh. Reinstall Mike Trip. We need you in Discord. Yes.
Oh, I
Yes.
think
Yeah,
you finally posted the.
Simulation is not complete.
I think Thomas found the link.
Thomas did? Oh,
Yes, remember Thomas is Kellen
boy. I
in
know.
Discord. Oh my goodness, so many
Push button control.
control.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like almost like a Darth Vader when they take off his helmet.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I'll have to check those out off the air. All right, so
Would you rather have this scent on me?
no, Kaylee, I had no sense on you. All right, guys. I want to say thank you tonight for joining us. We're going to go ahead and end it here at 2 hours and 32 minutes.
Look at us.
So should we give a proper Klingon farewell tonight since we have our resident Klingon on?
Live long and prosper.
I guess we'll do it the Vulcan way. Live long and prosper.
Kapla.